All right, a pleasant good morning to you coming from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to Night Moves here for Tuesday, March the 10th. We're in full swing, we're in full action in conference tournaments on Tuesday. We got big conferences underway early here with afternoon starts out east, Big 12, ACC. Then you've got rolling in late afternoon, Big 10 as well. So it's today, but it's also tomorrow. It's the next day. We've got what you like. That's wall to wall action here all day with opportunities. We're going to go over championship games tomorrow for sure in college basketball, but just to let you know, those other conferences are rolling here right now. I mean, we could cover them all, but there's huge cards in the NBA and NHL. What are we going to do? Stay up all night and talk sports betting here on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel? Well, we might, but we'll focus on the NBA and NHL. And like I said, we'll touch on those championship games here tomorrow with games in the Coastal, the Horizon, the MAAC, the West Coast Conference as well, and a couple of other conferences as well, the Northeast Conference there. But we do know now who is in the West Coast Conference Championship upset, if you will, that quad win that will put them in the field of 68. I was on with Tony earlier. He had asked Rod what he thought, and I think those guys were hitting it right out of the park there, talking about the three teams in the West Coast Conference. But I didn't see this one coming. I didn't see Santa Clara springing the upset there on St. Mary's. So they will get that win. That will, I'm sure, put them in the field of 68. Herb Sendek, a legendary coach now, or at least a long-time coach, with his 600th win as Santa Clara got the win there yesterday. Behind Gavel Yulgoff, 23 points for him there, and it is Santa Clara advancing here to take on the Gonzaga Bulldogs. So it won't be St. Mary's and Gonzaga here. Santa Clara advances. So, but it will be Gonzaga, of course. It will be. They took down Oregon State 65-56 as Gonzaga led by 14 at halftime and closed out. And then Tuesday night here, this will be the last game ever for Gonzaga, at least for now, barring whatever happens with Gonzaga. You never know with them not playing football. I don't know, but it'll be their last ever game here in the West Coast Conference when these teams meet. Ironically, Oregon State, too. They're going the Pac-12 also. Really got to, it's really just the Mountain West and Washington State and Oregon State, and then, I won't say the whole Mountain West, but maybe the upper tier of the Mountain West. Then you got also Oregon State and Gonzaga. Gonzaga only in the sports other than football. They don't play football in Spokane, I guess. But that makes up the new Pac-12 next year. So, or maybe they will call it the Pac-10. I don't know. But Gonzaga gets the win there, so they advance in there, and it will be Santa Clara and Gonzaga for the championship of the West Coast Conference. We'll see more bids come up here on Tuesday. All right, and there were some bids decided on Monday as well in college basketball. We had some good action yesterday here with some other games that teams advanced, including in the Southern Conference with Furman. They downed East Tennessee State 76-61. Furman wins the tournament as the number 6 seed, and they're in, making the tournament for the second time in 4 years, and the Bucks are gone here. So Furman will be the winner from the Southern Conference. Also, other tournament finals in the Sun Belt. We had Troy beating Georgia Southern here. Hey, we had Troy last night here on Night Moves. We rolled with Troy as they clubbed Georgia Southern 77-61 as Troy wins the Sun Belt tourney for the second year in a row, dominating the boards there. And, it was a little bit too much to ask. Okay, Georgia Southern, they're playing for the sixth night in a row. But, hey, you know what? If they turn the tournament into a back-to-back-to-back event. Maybe maybe there'll be more upsets. Anyways, hey, how about in the Coastal last night as well? We saw some action in the Coastal with Monmouth beating Campbell there as the Hawks win their fifth game in a row, and Monmouth beat them 74-64. They'll move on to take on Hofstra, winners over Towson. I couldn't get it done with my college basketball premiums here. I got beat there, tried to lay it with Hofstra. They couldn't cover the spread. They did get the win there, and they will advance to the Coastal final. We'll preview that one here. Also, Horizon, Wright State, and Northern Kentucky. Wright State won it 103-90. Detroit beat Robert Morris in an upset there yesterday. We'll preview the Horizon final as Detroit trailed by 6 early in the second half. They came back to win, and that loss snapped Robert Morris's 8-game winning streak. In the Big Sky, we did have a couple of results out of there as well, including Montana beating Northern Colorado 95-89 there, and then East preview some of those games here. We did have some other winners here on night moves last night, so some winners in the NBA included the Cleveland Cavaliers here yesterday. We had the Cavs. We also had the over with the Nuggets and the Thunder here last night on night moves. We had the Utah Jazz as well to go 3-2 in the NBA. NHL winners on night moves included the New York Rangers. How about it? We had the Rangers over the Flyers on the road. We also had the under with the Mammoth and the Blackhawks, and we had the Senators on the puck line for a 3-2 day over there. So, hey, we'll take the win. I think we beat the juice here on Sunday, on a Monday. In fact, we were 3-1 in the NBA. We skipped one game, remember, yesterday, and we're going to only be able to skip one game today because maybe the schedule makers or the leagues are doing a good job here. We had the controversy here trying to figure out more ways the NBA teams can't tank, but you know what? All the games do have a little bit of playoff impact here, maybe except for one. We kicked out the Pacers and the Kings. Come on. All right, let's talk here quickly. We'll get to some people here. Let some people stroll in right now. I want to thank everybody in the chat rolling in here real quick, but I do want to talk about the World Baseball Classic here from last night. Some great games here, including late night here. United States over Mexico. Aaron Judge and my man Roman Anthony homered in the third inning. Paul Skeens 1 hit in 4 innings. USA over Mexico at 5-3. Mexico did cover the run line there for sure. And the USA, good performances. They're not destroying teams here necessarily like some of the others. Mexico, obviously, a pretty decent program, if you will, coached by my man Benji Gill. Benji Gill, the coach of Mexico, former Major League infielder, shortstop with the Angels, among others. And I'm so old. Benji Gill, I remember going to a game, covering a game as a high school reporter that Benji Gill threw a no-hitter and hit a home run, and that was at Castle Park High School in San Diego, National City area of San Diego, Chula Vista. They're a great baseball school, and Benji Gill was a great player. Venezuela beat Nicaragua 4-0. Ronald Acuna 3 for 3, a home run, 2 RBIs. Venezuela's 3-0 in the World Baseball Classic. I don't know if they would have been there if Maduro was still around, but they'll play the 3-0 Dominican Republic on Wednesday. Those teams are going through, but man, gonna look at that one. Maybe Venezuela can keep it going here right now. We know Dominican Republic's a juggernaut, as Fernando Tatis hit a grand slam and drove in 6 runs. O'Neal Cruz homered. Brian Bayo 1 hit in 5 innings pitched. They beat Israel 10-1. Israel couldn't stop Dominicans' missiles from sailing out of the park there in Miami and Puerto Rico over Cuba 4-1, as Maldonado had 3 RBIs. Cuba could only manage to him. Man, wasn't the NFL signing period here today? I don't want to go over all of them, but man, wasn't that something? The way those names were coming down the line there all day, all afternoon, and watching Schefter do his thing. Why does Adam Schefter still use like a little phone to text all of his things out on the on his tweets? And I mean, doesn't he have a laptop or one of those bigger phones? I mean, this guy could a lot more work done if he just wasn't using a little phone. Poor guy. Maybe we could send him something. But man, what do you think? Some of the big ones out there included Malik Willis of Packers, 3 years, $67 million. Jalen Phillips goes to Carolina. Willis signed with Miami, by the way, the former Packer. Jalen Phillips, former Eagle, he goes to Carolina for 4 years, $120 million. How about Mike Evans as he put the 49ers over the top, going over to from the Bucks with a $20 million per year contract. Tampa Bay signs a couple of guys, Anzalone from the Lions and Gainwell from Pittsburgh. The Falcons will take their chances with Tua as a backup. They also got Folk kicking from the Jets, Hooper, tight end from New England. Giants sign Isaiah Likely. Texans go with Reed Blankenship, the safety. The Bears sign Devin Bush and Kobe Bryant. Washington takes away from the Chargers. Just a lot of names yesterday, trading uniforms, getting more money here. They were running a ticker on the McAfee show that what they were saying, we got $2.55 billion in signings here today. I mean, wow. So there's also some trades. Colts are going to Indy dealt Michael Pittman to the Steelers there yesterday, and Minka Fitzpatrick goes from Miami to the Jets. Some re-signings as well, including the Seattle re-signing my man Rashid Shaheed, 3 years for $51 million in there. And then the big news was kind of started off the day with Travis Kelce going to stick around in Kansas City one more time. Let's run it back here. They got Kenneth Walker too. I don't mean to kind of forget about all these different names here yesterday, but your team isn't going to look like it did just the other day. As a lot of new names, new faces going to new teams, and I'll make it fun. Hey, that's kind of old school a little bit, I think. Well, I don't know. Teams used to stick with their old guys. Let me say hello to everyone in the chat. Thank you for joining me here on Night Moves tonight as we preview the action. But what whirlwind of names and team changes in the NFL. Jermaine, good morning. Hello. He may fall asleep here with me, but I'm here. Just so is Dimitri Mamo, Timmy Two Shoes, Power Critter is here as well. Greg is here. Ready to go, Mr. All here. And Greg was happy with that Clipper game. I thought the Knicks were going to do it, but you know what? I shouldn't have given up on my Clippers in that game. They need wins. They're hungrier. All right. And Timmy says he liked the under in that one, and it really was never going to get there yesterday. Let's see who else is rolling in to talk sports and sports betting here for a Tuesday. I'll put your significant comments here. You guys are having a great conversation amongst everybody in the chat. So can you start capping here early in the morning, person turquoise waving speech? Who else is ready to go? And Mexico can't beat America at anything. Oh, America, put that comment up there from Mr. Westers. Although that was the United States' first win, I believe, over Mexico in 20 years at the World Baseball Classic. Now, it hasn't quite worked out. Mexico did have an upset before, and like I said, Mexico covered that spread. It did go under the 11 there yesterday. Hey, one game still coming up tonight here in the World Baseball Classic. Why not talk about it here real quick as we go to the game here between, this will be at 6 a.m. Eastern, 3 a.m. Pacific. We're just about a couple hours here from Japan versus Czechia here in this one. Overnight, there's a massive talent gap here for sure with Japan. They're favored by 3.5 at minus $1.20. Japan's roster looks like an all-star team out there with Otani, Yoshida, and Czechia mostly has amateurs and semi-pro guys. For Japan will be Hiroto Takahashi, one of the top young arms in Japanese baseball, against Andrzej Satoria. He's an electrical technician whose fastball is 79 miles an hour. Maybe, remember some of the guys with a little change of pace, the Gaylord Perrys, the Charlie Huffs maybe of the world. Japan's lineup stays dangerous here, top to bottom in this one. I got to take a minus 3.5 runs against Czechia here. Is it really 3.5? It's not 3.5. Come on. Let me get the right line here. I don't know what I'm reading here. Let me get the right line here. I think it's 9.5, actually. 9.5 minus $1.25. I just couldn't read my writing, that's all. 9.5 minus $1.25. I do think they can get that. I think it will go over. I think Japan puts up a large number here in this one tonight. Motivation factor here too with the Tokyo Dome. So I think it probably goes over too. Japan might get them all, actually. Could it be something in the range of 13 to 1, 14 to 1 here tonight? I don't know. I'm not sure. Czechia, they're just going to have to keep absorbing the damage here right now. Czechia gets 2 or 3 runs. It's probably definitely going over the total here right now. We see some of the games kind of slow starting when maybe a pitcher's out there doing a good job. It just feels like right now I don't think it's going to go that way. Tomorrow also here in the World Baseball Classic, play continues with 3 more games after that. So we have this game from Japan early on, and then we're going to go Israel versus Netherlands, Canada versus Puerto Rico, and Italy will take on the United States tomorrow. Did have a couple other finals in there today, including Great Britain over Brazil 8-1. Colombia upset Panama 4-3, and a little bit of an upset there. And a World Baseball Classic there on Monday continues here on Tuesday with pool play. Hopefully we get that wrapped up and get to the good games here. And again, now Tariq Skubal, is he gonna stay with the team? Is he gonna go back to spring training? This is what the dilemma of the United States team. They just don't have the motivation like these other teams that are trying to beat the Americans, right? The U.S., it's almost like an inconvenience, it feels like, to play this tournament. Meanwhile, you got the Dominican Republic with my Padre guys, Machado and Tatis. I mean, these guys bring the energy. I'm a disappointed Padres fan. We never win, but not for lack of fun and excitement. These guys bring the heat every night for the Padres too. I mean, the Padres never win anything. We know that, but they trying to make it fun. I know there's a lot of controversy, that a little bit too much of show offs or whatever, but look. Baseball's a boring game. The fans got cobwebs growing on them there in the outfield here if you don't have some excitement. So I'm all about it with the Dominican Republic. I'm enjoying them. I don't want to be anti-U.S. here, especially in this patriotic period right now. But just like the U.S., don't get complacent, right? Otherwise, someone's going to bite you and get you when you're not looking, get you when you're not ready. So you always got to be ready. Want to say hello to it's JNR, also joining us today. Jermaine talking about the is it $2.55 billion right there? We saw, it was awesome to see Schefter, in there, kind of having it where he was giving out all the plays there. So, oh man, Lando, I keep buffering, huh, you guys? I guess I don't want to come in and out of the show right now. I'm going to fire it up over here and see how bad it is over here on YouTube. And I don't want to keep you guys waiting here, but I guess we could start the show a little bit too, and then just see. I'm going to just try to call it up here, and we'll look at myself to see how bad. My internet has been off and on here a little bit here, but it feels like it's behaving a little bit better today. So, All right, let's just get into it here right now with some of the action. Like I said, we're going to mostly feels like uh, our NBA card and our NHL card, and then we'll touch on just the championship games only. That's really all we can do here at the just so many games already here. Like I said, Big 12 gets underway at 12:30 Eastern with. Four games tomorrow. The ACC is kind of playing in, if you will, a little bit. Three games. So let's just get to the big sports and then we'll just go from there because it's a lot of NHL games, you guys, to be honest, and a lot of NBA games too. Hopefully that's okay and you guys are ready to win here. Thank you for joining me on Night Moves. Hey everyone, go on over to Tony'sPicks.com and take a look at our handicapper leaderboards. And hey, we got premium picks over at Tony'sPicks.com. Man, I couldn't click at all right now in college basketball. Hopefully I can bring you the winners here on the show here tonight. But other than that, you can check out the rest of our handicappers over at Tony'sPicks.com. Let's go over there right now and take a look at those handicapper leaderboards and see who's hot. And it's Solo Malone's on top here, 3-0. Yesterday, Tony T, he's been very hot here right now. It was great to be with Tony today on the new drive-thru. Said the new drive-thru. It's actually the old drive-thru with a new crew over here at Tony'sPicks.com. Of course, Tony had his show with the guys across the street for so many years. You know, when I first saw that show 5 or 6 years ago, you know, I think it was right after the pandemic when that show started. I mean, Tony's videos go back well before that. But when I saw that show, and I was an aspiring YouTube content maker with, just trying to find a viral video or something, I saw that show and I said, I want to be on that show. I'm going to go after that show. And then when I saw Tony make the invitation to anyone to try to get involved with his group here at Tony's Picks, I jumped at the opportunity. It took me 6 years, but there I was on the drive-through today with guys like Brian Bittler, who went 3-0 yesterday here at Tony's Picks. Tom Regard 5-3. Vegas Al with his winner yesterday. Good job by Alessandro. Joey Tron 2-0. Jorge Gonzalez 2-1. Mills Young won his only play. Ron Hahn won his only play. Chris Atkins won his only play. There's Stax McKelvey 2-1. Shane Mickle 2-1. Dave. Everyone is on this handicapper leaderboard except me, I think is what the gist of this is. And don't look at me because I had no winners on Monday. Last 7 days, Stephen Duncan continues to rock 31-14, nearly 70% right there. Stax McKelvey over 60%. Look at that, 22-12 over the last 7 days. Solo Malone 67% over the last 7 days. Brian Bittler's up there over 6.5 units, almost 6 1/3 units of profit. And Tony T, like I said, he's been hot. Last 30 days, Stephen Duncan up over 21 units. Mills Young up over 9.5 units there. Al Ninos up over 5 units. Brian Bittler up 4.5 units. And Tony T's up there as well. 2026 leaders include Stephen Duncan, Nick Lagaretos, Al Ninos. One winner a day. Al Ninos getting it done here. 14.5 units of profit over at Tony'sPicks.com. You can use the promo code TonyT at checkout to save 15% off all premium pick packages, including mine here on Tuesday. I'm going to be back up and firing here on Tuesday in tennis action as well. Oh, you know what? I say I had no winners. I take that back. I did have, I think I had the winner yesterday with in tennis with my one tennis play here yesterday was a winner here. That's where I'm crushing it here anyway with let me see, Bencic, Belinda Bencic over Elise Mertens was my only winner here at Tony's Picks, but I did have a winner there. Don't sell me short. All right, and a few more comments from the group, and then we'll get on with the show right now and start to preview. We can't wait any longer. If I think of something, we'll just talk about it then. So we got to talk right now about the NBA and get rolling on this big card, man. Oh, there we go. Okay, let's get it rolling here right now with our previews for the action here on. Might even be a little quick on the draw here. Be ready in the chat pros. What happens here on the show is I like to give a little preview of each game. I'll make a pick eventually. The chat pros can chime in, and you can be a member of the chat pros. All you got to do is put your pick or information question in the chat, and that's how we roll here on Night Moves. Okay, let's get to the action here today and start it off with the Grizzlies taking on the Sixers here. Look, the Sixers, it's been a little bit tough, and you got to be a little bit worried with what's going on. I mean, you got to figure they're still in the playoff picture here in eighth place here currently. The Grizzlies, though, we know they've been done here for quite a while. They'd almost have to win them all, but and that'd just be to get in the play-in. They're 6.5 back of Portland for the 10 spot. The 76ers do come in here as only a 4.5 point favorite. Is that right now? 4.5 here against the Memphis Grizzlies. So this one continues to crawl up a little bit. Maybe Philadelphia. Like I said, they do have some injury concerns here right now, and this is kind of what's holding back Philly with Joel Embiid currently still out. We're going to mention it here, even though we have no timetable really on his return, but it's important enough to mention it. And I think Tyrese Maxey is going to be out here with a hand injury. So the spread is going up a little bit in Philadelphia's favor. Memphis does have their own series of injuries here, several names with a questionable tag tomorrow. Scottie Pippen Jr., Ty Jerome, Taylor Hendricks, Taj Gibson, Cedric Cower, Aldama also there, and got a number of guys just with their status really unknown for Memphis here, more so than the Phillies, even though BJ Edgecombe, he's out. He's questionable with a back injury. So, man, a lot of names here in this one. And I see a lot of different guys out there. Memphis has been playing well, although last night they did get rocked at Brooklyn, 126-115. Now, Memphis was a slight underdog, and they had been on a little bit of a roll, even though they weren't. I say it from a spread perspective. They've lost 4 in a row, but they had covered 3 straight losses before pretty much getting clubbed last night by Brooklyn. For Philadelphia, they also played yesterday on the road at Cleveland, lost 115-111. Guess what? They actually got the money and stopped a non-cover streak right now. So, look, Philadelphia is 20-14 against the spread as a favorite, but just 14-19 against the spread at home. The Grizzlies are 18-24 against the spread as an underdog. Chat pros, let's hear from you as we get ready here for this one between the Grizzlies and the Sixers, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific time here on Tuesday night. All right. For these two teams, they did meet in their first meeting back in December. It was 139-136. Philadelphia won on the road in overtime as a 1.5 point favorite there in that one. For the Grizzlies here, they do come in having covered the spread in 5 of their last 6 games. They've actually won 13 of the last 20 meetings with the Sixers. Memphis has gone over in 12 of their last 17 coming in. Philadelphia just 1-4 straight up, 0-4-1 against the spread in their last 5 games. Philadelphia's gone under in 4 of their last 5, and 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams have gone over here. Philadelphia is missing some guys, and yeah, Memphis has shown a little bit of heart here. But look, this has been I want to say a little bit of a move, maybe even a significant move on Philly. Now, I don't know if it means that, those guys are going to be in, because, no report that those stars are going to be in. In fact, it does seem like Embiid and of course, Maxey are definitely out of this game. So we'll see, and we'll see about Edgecombe. He's got to be in here too. But I don't know. Philly just might get this one at home. Let me hear from you guys in the chat. This one's a little bit sketchy, huh? All right, chat pros might have something to say, though, here with maybe the Sixers, they kind of fought hard at the end there against Cleveland to get that money. I think they got it by half a point. Memphis got back to back here. Maybe they got after they got mauled there by Brooklyn of all teams, right? Mr. Wesker says he sees now all the way up to 5 here with Philadelphia. Boy, this is getting, I don't know. Timmy Two Shoes liking the under, maybe here in this one with Philadelphia and Memphis. I mean, you got to think this one's going to be a slowdown. Do I even have the right line on the screen on the total there? Yeah, 228. It was, I want to say, considerably higher here. And that's probably their direction to go right now. And probably what I'm going to do is take the under here with Memphis and Philadelphia here today. See if we got a few more comments from you in the chat. That's what Timmy Two Shoes went for there. Cal Dog, 76ers money line. Greg is going with the under here. And who scores exactly, Timmy? Who is going to do? Now, there is something to be said. Pro basketball players, we kind of say, oh, they're missing these players, so that might. Pro players play more defense, even if we make fun of them a little bit, than the players that aren't on the team, and that's kind of why they're on the team sometimes. Sometimes there are some guys down there in the G League or even on the bench we know can fill it up, but they just don't play enough defense. That's why they don't get as much run. But Mr. West says the Grizzlies aren't playing defense at all compared to those last 3 games where they're allowing 124 points per game here to Portland, the Clippers, and Brooklyn here right now. So I will take the under here in this one. Memphis is 13-19 to the under on the road. Now, Philly is kind of an over team when they are favored, but they've gone under in 4 of their last 5. So I'll go with the under here in this one with Memphis and Philly. All night moves. All right. Let's keep it moving here right now and go to the Wizards will take on the Miami Heat here. NBA action for a Tuesday. We're in the tankathon here a little bit with Miami. They've really found a strong groove here right now. Has Miami. They're taking this drive here seriously, and they have worked their way up here to 7th place. I always kind of pointed out the 8th place position, so important because of the play-in tournament, the 7 through 10. You want to at least be in those 2 spots. But, man, the Heat are actually now tied with the Magic for 6th place. You can see the Raptors in the rearview mirror. I almost wanted to say the Heat was going to be on the decline towards the end of the season here, but all of a sudden, they're on a winning streak here right now. They are favored massively here over the Wizards. And, yeah, even in the tankathon, sometimes these numbers are getting a little bit too hefty. But when you have a Washington team that has lost a bunch in a row and also failed to cover here in 3 straight, including tankathon games, losing to Orlando by 19, getting 16. They also lost to New Orleans by 20 points, getting 11.5. So the Heat with plenty of motivation here, and they feels like staying healthy, getting healthy, other than Norman Powell, and he is out here still currently. Khalil Ware questionable. Jovic is out. Wiggins is out. Fontecchio is probable here, but for Washington, Jameer Watkins is out. Keyshawn George is out of this game. Vukcevic is going to be probable here, but we might just be in the tankathon here in this one, and I might be willing to go with this particular 15.5-point favorite. Miami is not only winning all their games, they're covering every single game, including a big number over Brooklyn a few nights ago or a week ago or so by 12.5 in a matchup similar to this one, if you will. Miami's won and covered 5 straight. They've covered 5 of their last 6 at home. Washington's lost 8 in a row, just 2-6 against the spread in their last 8. And Washington just 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 games against Miami. 4 of the last 5 meetings between these 2 teams have gone under, but Washington has gone over in 4 of their last 5. Washington is 31-27 to the over as an underdog here, but the Heat are 15-18 to the under as a favorite. Miami's been a very strong cover right now, 19-13 against the spread at home. A home favorite is their role, actually, and Washington comes in just 10-20 against the spread on the road this season. So I think the Tankathon works for me here. I'll go ahead and take Miami in this one to roll. They got to win it by 16 or more here, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to go to the Tankathon here with the Heat. Let's see if anybody's going to play this one. It's a little bit dicey here maybe, but let's see if anybody was willing to comment. Mr. Wesker's willing to go with the Heat again here. How about Timmy says a team total over? This total looks high there on paper, and yes, I don't know if the trends really make out here, if you will, but I gotta agree here a little bit with Timmy. I think we could see a big number here by the Heat in this one. Their team total is going to be about 227.5, I think, here with this matchup, and they might get that. They might get it, and they might get it easy. Look, they're gonna win. If they're gonna win and cover, I think it goes over. All right, let's take a look here right now and then what if they'll want to get 229 points, and Cal Dog likes the under here in this one. All right, let's keep it moving here right now with our next contest, and it's going to be here. Thanks to the chat pros in there. The Detroit Pistons are going to take on those Brooklyn Nets here, and we're in the Tankathon with Detroit here, favored by 14.5 in this one over Brooklyn. But Detroit is all of a sudden fumbling and bumbling and stumbling here. You got to worry. I'm not worried, but what's happened here all of a sudden? 4 straight losses, including a loss versus Brooklyn at home. They've also lost 3 straight road games here to Cleveland, San Antonio, and Miami. Now, look, they've had a little bit of injury woes with Cunningham. They're playing some good teams on the road. They do have a big chance here to get this one. LeVert left last game for Detroit and leaving everyone, how, hey, if you make the props and your guy gets injured in the first quarter, you get, your money back. A lot of these books. Real nice gesture. I don't have a problem with that if the books want to do that. But what if your guy goes and he's one point away or one stat away from hitting all of his props and he gets injured? No dice. And that's what happened, I think, to LeVert there yesterday. He's going to be out of this game for sure. Last night, of course, or let's see, 2 nights ago, I think it was 2 nights ago with that game, right? But Detroit lost to Miami 121-110. They were a road favorite in that one. So it's been 4 straight losses here, and we are in the Tankathon. Now, Brooklyn, they're all of a sudden showing a little life here right now. Beat Memphis there, obviously, last night, 126-115 at home, and they also upset Detroit in that game 107-105 just 3 nights ago. So will the big-time revenge come into play here, or is this little slump that Detroit is in? Maybe it's just a good thing that they're playing the Brooklyn Nets with a little bit of revenge. Look, I don't know if the Nets are going to pull off another upset. They were 13.5-point favorites in that game, but the Pistons might just be desperate enough. We just got to get a win here. And like I said, for whatever reason, Brooklyn here, just a little bit of a good stretch here right now, even though Brooklyn has been in the Tankathon. Michael Porter Jr., by the way, is probable. Igor Demon, he's still out, but he's been a nice story this year. Also, Asar Thompson is out for Detroit here in this one. So we can go to the chat pros. We definitely got to talk about this one and try to figure out what could happen here, especially with Detroit going just 1-4 straight up and 1-7 against the spread in their last 8 games overall. Brooklyn's just 2-10 straight up. We know they're bad, but they're, like I said, they got these 2 covers in a row, but they've failed to cover in 9 of their last 12. They've covered 3 of their last 5. So are they showing heart? What's going on here? 5 of the last 6 meetings between the 2 teams have gone under. Detroit's gone under in 4 of their last 5. But Brooklyn has gone over in 9 of their last 10 games at home. So what'll happen? We're favored by 14. You've got revenge on your mind. Detroit is a pretty bad favorite, 22-29 as a favorite, but Brooklyn is 25-34 as a dog. Still, Detroit, a bit of a good cover on the road, 17-14. Both teams have struggled to cover here. Of late. Total here 217 right now. Detroit is 11-19 to the under on the road, 20-30 to the under as a favorite. Brooklyn 27-32 to the under as a dog. They are a little bit to the over at home here. The 2 teams also met back in February, and Detroit won 130-77. At home, covering 14 in that game. They also played one other matchup here in Brooklyn. Detroit won and got the cover in that one, 125-107, as a 10.5 point favorite on the road. So go ahead and comment here if you'd like. Look, Detroit's only 2.5 games ahead of the Pistons here right now. So it's not about the Nets. It's about the Pistons. They just need a win, but the Pistons are, they're showing some heart here right now. Let's go to the chat pros here. 217 does feel kind of low, but the last 2 meetings between these 2 teams did go under. All right, let's see here I think Cal Dog might be on the under. Mr. Wesker says should be a rebound for these guys here. And the way the Nets have been having a good second half resurrection, says Timmy Schusios, he'll lay it in the first half. All right, and let's see here. Nets usually get slapped around in the first half, says Timmy. Hey, I want to say hello and welcome to Sleek Viewer joining us here in the chat. He says Spurs or Celtics tonight. Sleek Viewer, please stick around. I've got a preview of that game here in just a couple of minutes. Let's see here. Cal Dog is liking the over here in this one. And Cal Dog says Pistons in the first half. Are they going to come out like gangbusters here and blow this team out after blowing it the other night? Gosh, this Pistons streak is really, really bad right now with them not even able to cover here in these games. So I'm going to take the under here in this one with Detroit and Brooklyn. Maybe I'm scared here right now, and I don't want to take the Nets here with such a big revenge game. But like I said, you know what? The Pistons only have to win. They don't necessarily have to cover. They obviously could be steamed enough to blow somebody out. But, I just think here also, don't forget, Brooklyn is on the back-to-back here off of a win at home. Okay, that's it for that one. Let's keep it moving here right now. And all right, next up, the Suns are taking on the Bucks here in this one. Between these two, hey, remember when these two? It was only 5 years ago, right? When when Milwaukee beat Phoenix for the NBA title. Remember that? I mean, that was just 2021, and here we are with the Suns on the road, 2.5 point favorites at the Bucks right now. Look, the Bucks, we've almost tried to kick them out of the playoffs here over the last couple of weeks, but they've been hanging on by a thread here. Remember, they only got to get to the 10 spot, but still, they are 4 games back of the Hornets here. They are at home. They might be breathing here right now. They only got to get in, right? But we know the Hornets are playing extremely well. So, maybe, just maybe, if you look at the maybe a team like the Hawks, but that's 5.5 games. So I don't know. I guess because the Bucks can see the backs of the Hornets here, they can think that they're still alive here. Now, especially that Giannis has been back in the lineup. I will get to it, but Mr. Weskers did point out here that Atlanta was on a time change. Thanks, Mr. Weskers. I'll throw that one in here in just a second. I had it at the original time, and they did move it up a half an hour. Thank you, brother. Well, let me complete this one here. Giannis is probable here right now, and also Prince is questionable. Kevin Porter Jr. is out of this game. Kuzma is probable for Phoenix. Grayson Allen is questionable. Mark Williams is out here right now. So, look, the Suns have been playing well. I've been a big supporter of the Suns, kind of saying, hey, they're not, gonna blow this situation. They will make the playoffs, and yeah, they've declined here a little bit, but all of a sudden they've kind of gotten hot again too. They are in 7th place currently, so I don't think they're going to blow that. They did beat Charlotte last time out at home when everyone was talking Charlotte, and the Phoenix Suns were actually the underdog in that game, and they won 111-99. But I think this is actually tougher here for them to go on the road to take on the Bucks. Yes, the Bucks have been terrible, and they just got blown out again by the Orlando Magic, a playoff caliber team. They did beat Utah at home, did Milwaukee before that. I don't know what that says, but before that they were just getting beat by teams beat down, really. Chicago, Boston, Atlanta, teams that beat Milwaukee here. But Milwaukee is 20-19 against the spread as an underdog, which isn't awful when you consider they are 8-16 against the spread as a favorite. Suns here in their best role. They're 18-11 against the spread on the road, 19-12 against the spread as a favorite. So those are a lot of positive numbers that I usually like to see. But like I said, I think the Bucks do have a little bit of life, and to a certain extent, I do agree with the general consensus that maybe the Suns have kind of played over their heads here a little bit. I know the Sharps are going to be on the Suns here, and usually I'm willing to tail them, but in this one, I'm going to be going with the Milwaukee Bucks actually to win this game. The move has been on the Suns here. They were 1.5 and went up to 2.5 here. This one probably another low. Look at these totals as we get later in the year. We're all these totals today down here. We got 3 in a row in the below 220. These two teams have not yet met this season. When they met in Milwaukee here last year, it was 133-123 in that one as Milwaukee got the win here at home. Milwaukee comes into this one having lost 5 of their last 6 and failed to cover in those, 1-4 against the spread their last 5 at home. But Phoenix just 1-4 against the spread their last 5 meetings against Milwaukee in this interconference series. Phoenix is 3-7 against the spread in their last 10, despite the fact that they've won 4 of their last 5. Milwaukee here getting a couple of points. I think I'm willing to take them in this one against the Phoenix Suns. Like I said, I think the Sharps are going to be on the Suns. They're usually right in this situation, but I was the one on the Suns when everyone was jumping off the Suns. So let me think that I'm out ahead of the curve here a little bit on the Suns, all right? Let's see what you guys think of this one. All right, let's see here. We've got... Yeah, you're right, Mr. Western. It's going to be a little bit tough. I mean, if anything, they've got to go right now, and the team they're going to have to catch is really the Charlotte Hornets, and it just doesn't seem like that's going to be the case because Charlotte has been too hot, and the teams ahead of Charlotte are probably far enough ahead. That'd be the Atlanta Hawks. The Bucks are actually 5.5 back of the Bucks, and the Sixers too, 6.5 back. If anything, the Sixers feel like the team that's falling a little bit. We talked about how hot Atlanta is, and above that is the Heat. Are there any losing teams here in the East? I guess it's all about the tankathon a little bit. The Bucks are kind of in there, but I think this one, like I said, they maybe just one more hope here for Milwaukee. Okay. All right, let's see here. Atlanta Magic and Hornet. Oh, you're right, Mr. West. They are playing great, aren't they? Those teams, Mr. West. Because we'll take the Suns here. And Jimmy Chushu says they got to win this one. They got to go play Indy as well. Suns money line for Cal Dog. Maybe over here for Timmy Chushu's. I don't know, Timmy. I don't know about that. I kind of was thinking under, Phoenix 12-19 to the under is a favorite, and Milwaukee is 27-36 to the under this season. So I was trying. 4 of the last 6 meetings between the two teams have gone under, and Phoenix has gone under in 5 of their last 7. And you keep seeing these low totals. I'm not saying they all go under, but look, if you the games that are under 220, they might sneak over and get to 221, but I don't think we're seeing very many of these 220 style games go to like 230 or 240. Those are indicating that it's going to be a low scoring game. You just got to, I guess, pick the right side of the over under, and then the overs are on your own. You're on your own because you know me. All right, here Bucks. Let's see here. And the Suns do play D, don't they? They do, right? I mean, that's the one thing the Suns have been exceptional in this season is an unheralded defense, it feels like. But I'm going to take the Bucks here in this one. Okay, let's go to that game now. Thank you, Mr. Weskers, for pointing that out because we do have a time change, and I did blow it just a little bit again. Where I can't get the right game in the right time. I have one job here on the Tony's Picks. You two, well, I got a couple now. Okay. Mavericks and the Hawks. Obviously, the big news out of Atlanta today, they even had to issue a public statement here. Magic City night has been canceled, everyone. They were going to have a great night with, some dancers here that were going to come on the court and do a little dance. Look, it's a family entertainment. They weren't going to do anything crazy. It's just the establishment they were promoting is one of the most famous establishments in all of Atlanta. They were going to have Magic City night. Everyone remembers in the pandemic when the Atlanta players had to leave the bubble and go up to Magic, or was it some Orlando players in Magic City? But remember when they had to travel from Florida to Georgia to go get those chicken wings? Remember at Magic City? But oh man, Magic City night has been canceled. The Hawks said we respect the league's decision to cancel Magic City night with the Hawks, and hey. I mean, if you're as hot as the Hawks are, I mean, I'd try to get there with them too in Magic City. So, just a little bit unfortunate, but on the court, it hasn't been awful for the Hawks right now. And man, they look great, don't they? Feels like we were ahead of the curve a little bit talking about the Hawks getting hot and everything. And now look at them. You know what? I don't know. Maybe they're going to Magic City every night. They are. Hey, they're just covering every game here right now. Not only winning, but covering. Atlanta 6 straight wins and covers right now, taking on all comers. Washington, Portland, Milwaukee, Philadelphia, mostly a favorite in those games. And look at Atlanta here. I mean, we're in the tankathon here for sure with this one, but Atlanta's knocking them down, knocking them dead, covering big numbers too. Covered 6.5 against Philly, covered 9.5 against Portland, covered double digits twice against Washington. They're not exactly a great cover overall this season, but they're making up for it right now. Dallas is 12-19 against the spread on the road here. We do have Cooper Flag well back into the fold here, so hey, that's great to see. Maybe he could come back and try to challenge for the Rookie of the Year, but he'd really have to go on a tear. For the Hawks here, Kuminga is questionable. He's been my guy since going to the Hawks, but he might be out of this one, but still. Line here is 9. The total 238.5. That does have a little bit of pressure here, I think, to the under. I'm not sure about that move to the under. Let's see what you guys think here in this one with Dallas and Atlanta. The moves to the under, I get it. Maybe here we've seen Dallas have some under here. I mean, these two teams are kind of unders, but in the Tankathon, I have a feeling this one's going high. Can't give you any stats really on it because Atlanta's 27 and 37 to the under, including 12 and 19 to the under on the road, and 19 and 25 to the under. I want to say hello to my friend who commented on the show here. He says, I don't know, Ramon, sometimes where you're going with some of these games, and I think this is what he meant when. You read off a bunch of trends saying, hey, these guys are under teams, right? You got Atlanta here, 13 and 18 to the under at home, and then you just flip flop and go to the over. But a lot has to do with the eye test and also the type of game that it is, right? You have a Tankathon game here, Atlanta on a roll, like Mr. Wesker said, they're going up, up, up with a 6-game winning streak, hottest team in the Eastern Conference, really. And they're in 9th place. I think they could probably catch the Sixers. The way the Sixers are going to have some issues here for the next couple of weeks here. It sounds like weeks to come if they can't get their big star back, and Maxi's having some issues. So they're only a game and a half out of that crucial 8 spot that I like to talk about. They're probably going to make it here for the play-in for sure, but for the Mavericks here, they're quite the opposite, on a big losing streak right now, and they did fail to cover in the last 2 games, including losing to 20 against Boston, getting 15 and a half, and losing to Toronto on the road by 30 as a 10-point dog here right now. So they're on the 5th game of their road trip here too, are the Dallas Mavericks. So this is not a comfortable situation. This lines up for a Tankathon game, it feels like. Dallas has lost 7 in a row. They're 2-5 against the spread in their last 7. Give them some credit here. They have covered 4 of the last 5 meetings against the Dallas Mavericks here. Mavericks have gone under in 6 of their last 9. Dallas has gone under in 6 straight. But I'm sorry, Dallas has gone under in 6 straight. But I don't know if this one's going under. I'm going to take the Dallas Mavericks here in the Tankathon. I'm sorry, the Atlanta Hawks here in the Tankathon. I'm taking the Hawks. Let me make it clear here with Atlanta here in this one. Lay the 9, get another double-digit win in this one. Let's go to Chat Pros right now, and it's going to be everybody loves Magic City down there. Jimmy Choo says Cooper Flag 2 threes at plus 255. He'll take Cooper Flag right now. Also, everyone's more interested in. There's Mr. Wesker's on, like in Atlanta against the spread. Hey, you want to say hello to Isaac Blumenkron in there? Let me get to it, Isaac. Let me see if I can't call up my numbers here for the Aussie game tonight over there, the NBL. We got a game coming up, he says, in just a short time here, in just about 25 minutes with Southeast Melbourne and Adelaide right now. And, man, let's see here. I'm definitely going to look at this one for my man Isaiah Blumenkron in the chat. Thank you, Isaiah. We're going to do it for you here in just a moment. All right. Atlanta's going to blow them out there. I don't know if this was the game. I'm trying to think, but I don't think this was the actual Magic City game. It's just that the news came out today about the Magic City game being canceled. And look, I don't know. It seems like a bad move. I think, look, I'm sure they were going to invite some of the performers, if you will, but it's not like they were going to, they'd probably go out there in some, I don't say worse, but no less revealing clothing than like a cheerleader or something. Let them get out there and dance a little bit, okay? Hey, we all could use a little fun here. Hey, all right, I'm going to take Atlanta in the Tankathon. Mr. Westwood said, give him pride. Oh, geez, okay. All right, so we got to go to our. Hey, this is a on the request show, right? This is why why we said it was going to have some live streams here on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. Okay, let's take a look for Isaiah here in this one with Southeast Melbourne and Adelaide in the NBL here tonight. I think we just going to call it my ratings here real quick. Didn't know I was going to ask about it here, but let's do it. Why not? Let's have, this game, I believe, will be, if you want to do it here, we're going to be well past 4:30 in the morning here on the East Coast. So why not join me here with a little betting action in the NBL tonight? If you have not ever watched the NBL, you can watch this one tonight. I believe, I haven't checked yet, but usually these Wednesday games are on your NBA TV app. So you can go right to the app on your Fire Stick and fire up the NBA app. Even if you don't, if you don't have, you got to sign up and be on there. There's no cost for it, but this game will be on there here with Southeast Melbourne here, and the Adelaide 36ers here, as we're in semifinal play tonight. Otherwise, I might just say, hey, but we got to do it. We got to do it for the semifinals action here with Adelaide and Southeast Melbourne here tonight. And for me, I think over the last, handful of games, I think the Phoenix has been the little bit better team here of late. And now, look, I think they've been the better team kind of all season against the spread. So I think I'm going to go with Southeast Melbourne to win. The move has been on Southeast Melbourne. They're favored by 1.5. So I'm going to go ahead and take them, and I'm going to take the over as well. The 36ers, they were kind of going under there for a while, but it does seem like as the later in the season has kind of progressed here, they're starting to go under. I hope I got that right. They were going over a lot earlier in the season and starting to go under, but I just think that overall, the Phoenix has been a big-time over team, especially early on. It's been tightening up here of late. I'm going to still think this one sneaks over here with a playoff, but, man, it's gone up by 4 points. I think Southeast Melbourne is going to be my play. I actually think the total maybe has just gotten a little bit too high at 190. I think it's coming right at 190-ish. If I had to play the total, I'd still lean to the over here, but I think Southeast Melbourne is going to be my pick. Thank you to Isaiah Blumenkron there, and don't forget, go to your NBA TV app to watch this one. How about a teaser? Maybe we can do a little teaser if you want to put maybe a little bit more on Southeast Melbourne and then tease the total there, because like I said, it's moved 4 points. A lot of people say don't play teasers. Hey, if you're betting at 4:30 in the morning, you can play a teaser. Okay, no problem. Nobody's going to tell you can't. But I think Southeast Melbourne is the side for me, and I'll lay the 1.5. And I lean. Even I've got to get a lean here because it's gone up from 185.5 here to 189.5, even 190.5 to the under. So, all right, great. Thank you to Isaiah, semifinals of the NBL. Cool. All right. Let's keep going here. Jimmy Juice is at the 30s, the Adelaide 36. Those were strange. All right. All right, we got to go back to the NBA here now. Yeah, those Adelaide 36ers. I mean, that comes from the fact that I no Australian expert, but I watched the Bell, and I knew that it was an independent, or not an independence. I think that's when they established that colony down there. I think Isaiah could probably tell it more before I embarrass myself. Okay, back to the NBA here. Thank you. Let's go with next up. The Toronto Raptors are at the Houston Rockets. In this one, you've got the Rockets here by 5.5, total 218.5. Toronto comes in here off of a win. Hey, this is a good game. You got playoff-bound teams here, definitely in this one. Toronto beat up on Dallas last time out by 30 to snap a 2-game losing streak. Toronto does come in here 15-11 against the spread as a dog, and it's -5, not a half. Let me fix that there. And 17-13 for Toronto against the spread on the road. Houston, they're trying. They can't really fix this record right now. 11-18 against the spread at home. 23-33 against the spread as a favorite. It's not been a great roll at all. They did just get blown out at San Antonio the other night, 145-120. Before that, they did beat Portland at home, but lost to Golden State. They really have not looked that good here of late. Talking about the Houston Rockets here. I'm trying to fix that. Trying to fix that line there. There we go. There we go. 5. Yeah, 5 and 217. This one's definitely gone another one where these lower totals are going down, and that's where the drift is, if you will. Look, Houston's 10-19 to the under at home. Toronto is 11-19 to the under on the road. Although when these two teams did meet earlier this season, it was 139-121. Houston blasted Toronto on the road. Houston comes in here right now. Like I said, not really getting these numbers here. They are favored by 5. Toronto's been a more solid cover here of late, but they're not really knocking them dead either. Toronto just 2-4 straight up and against the spread in their last 6 games overall. Toronto's lost 4 of its last 5 against Houston, but Houston just 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 games. Toronto's gone under in 8 of their last 10. Houston's gone under in 12 of their last 15 games at home here. Although 7 of the last 9 meetings between the two teams have gone over, and Houston has gone over in 6 of it. It's at home, though, where they are going under a little bit more frequently. So the chat pros, can chime in here in this one. Watch out, Houston, is the way that I feel. I think that Toronto can spring an upset here, actually. I might want to take the Raptors here. Let's see what you got in the chat, but I might want to go with the dog. If you guys go with too many Houstons in there, I might go to the total. Here we go. Mr. Westford says he doesn't know where the Raptors they're going right now. Look, it might not be able to get very far against those Eastern Conference teams, but they aren't exactly sitting in a poor spot right now. They are in 5th, and they'll probably come in, in 5th and 6th, right around there. The Rockets, meanwhile, we know that they're in, of course, they're fighting for that 4 spot or the 3 spot here. So it still is an important game, but kind of been. I see the little glitch there a little bit. Am I frozen here right now? Okay, no, just for a split second there, I guess. Right? Okay. Here we go. Cal Dogs on the Rockets here. Mr. Wesker says, like all Toronto teams, I guess they're going down here. And let's see here. Timmy went with the Rockets. Mr. Wesker says the Raptors cannot beat good teams here right now. And they're struggling to beat. Well, they're only beating up on bad teams. And I think that's it. That's it from you guys. And this one, hopefully, you can hear me here. Some about play on. You just can't stop. I'm going to the Raptors. I don't want to have to cancel the show or anything, and we have any problems. We'll just try to keep it going here right now. Hopefully we're okay. I see I'm back, but I know we're having a little bit of problems here right now. And I can see it on some of my devices here. I'm getting the you know what. All right. Jimmy says, I look like a Beastie Boy in here. Well, here's a little story I'd like to tell about 3 bad brothers you know so well. All right, here we go. Next up. Oh, man. Celtics and Spurs here. A highly anticipated matchup here tonight. I hope the internet doesn't go out while I'm trying to get this. All right. Uh, for Boston here, man, they're clicking once again. The Spurs have won 4 games in a row here right now with wins over Philadelphia, Detroit, Clippers, and Houston, covering 3 of them right now. The Spurs sitting in uh, 3 games now, I think, behind the Thunder there. The uh, win by. All right. Thanks a lot, you guys. I think we're okay here. Okay, hopefully we're good. Here we get to talk about it. Maybe they're trying to tell me something. Maybe they're going to let me watch my Adelaide game here. Okay, now we're commenting on it a little bit here, so just I think we can go right now. So the Celtics here, 2.5 back of the Pistons, and we got the Spurs 3 back of the Thunder. These 2 teams are chasing down the top teams right here in their respective conferences right now. For San Antonio, they're on a 4-game winning streak with wins over Houston, Clippers, Detroit, and Philly that covered 3 of 4. For Boston here, back wins over wins, but different, but the same results here, if you will. For Boston, they come in here right now as a pretty good roll for them. I mean, they're 22-11 against the spread on the road, 11-6 against the spread as an underdog here. Boston might be feeling a little bit giddy here with the way things are going, considering they've got Tatum back here in the lineup right now. He's still going up against the Spurs team 17-12 against the spread at home. They're in their good roll. They're 12-4 against the spread. They're 16. They've won 8 straight at home. Boston's just 5-11 against the spread against the San Antonio Spurs in their last 16 meetings. Yeah, that's a 8-year sample size between the two, but the Spurs have been kind of growing here of late and doing a nice job in the last meeting against Boston. Before, Boston was beating them in every game and covering here for a while. It was kind of an older group of Spurs that were kind of covering against Boston. Boston had actually won 4 straight against Spurs and 3 of 1 ATS, but back in January, San Antonio won it. 190 on the road. They did beat Boston in that. Boston's gone in 5 straight. 5 of the last 6 meetings between these teams have gone under just Boston did, and it does feel like maybe they can just take on all comers. Let me go to the chat here because I'm having a little bit of problems. I'm going to try to go all the way here and finish this show. All right, Celtics for Timmy, and Celtics money line for Cal Dog. Maybe the over here. I know it's dragging because I'm having graphics here. And I see it over here on the side. Open on to cancel this show. We're having a Get a little perturbed here. All right, I better just make my pick in this one. I hope I got enough details out there about this matchup here anyway between the Celtics and the Spurs here. Like I said, it's not a bad matchup here for the Spurs necessarily. And they were. Let's see here. For me, I got to go Boston and San Antonio. Give me the under here. Let me say it right now before the internet gods cut me off. You got it here. Under with this one. Okay, did you guys hear it there? I'll say it again. Under. Trying to watch the feed over here. Sorry, you guys. Really apologize for that. I am taking the under here with Boston and San Antonio. Are you guys hearing me there with the pick on the under? Okay, I'm going to move on to the next one here. I think this is back now. I'm going under with Boston and San Antonio. I'm sorry if you missed the trends on that. Just going to have to go with it. Under Boston, San Antonio. Okay. Jeez. All right, next up. The one game we did skip on this card is the Pacers and the Kings. So next up is the Bulls and the Warriors here. Yes, the Bulls and the Warriors in this one. For the Bulls here, they do come in with a record of 26 and 38. We've long put them out to pasture here right now, but got to keep an eye on the Warriors still. I mean, they're still in the thick of things. Boston is Chicago here is definitely probably toast. They're 5.5 back of the 10 spot right now. Meanwhile, for the Warriors here, they are sitting in 9th place. The Clippers have officially tied the Warriors here. We said it was going to be a matter of time, and they did get them here. We'll see if that trend kind of continues. Look, the Warriors are going to make it. It does feel like the cutoff at number 10 is solid. Right? You'd have to have Memphis come from nowhere to try to get back in this thing. So it's really just jockeying for position here between these last 3 teams. The Suns will probably get the 7 seed there, and then the Clippers, Warriors, and Trailblazers will bat it out for 7, 8, for 8, 9, and 10. Warriors are going to be a pretty substantial favorite here in this one at minus 6.5 total. 227.5. Now the Warriors struggling here without Curry here. They just lost to Utah there last night. But hey, we were on Utah here on Night Moves last night, right? We knew it was coming and took the Jazz there. They looked good late, didn't they? Nice job by the Jazz putting the pressure here on the Warriors a bit. Warriors did cover against OKC. They beat Houston in a big road game. So I think we're in the tankathon here pretty much, and I think you're getting a good price for a tankathon team. I'm not that about absences here. Fours that include Steph Curry, of course. Will Richard is questionable. KP, he's questionable right now. We don't know what's going on with KP, but we know who's in. Big ass probable. Moses Moody is questionable, but for the Bulls, Giddey is probable, but they've got some other issues right now. Patrick Williams is questionable. Colin Sexton is questionable. He had been playing. Simons, he's out here for the Bulls. Jalen Smith is probable. Buzelis is probable as well, but I'm probably going to the tankathon here with this one. Let's see what you guys got. Let me fire up my Phoenix versus 36ers game, and let's ride home with a winner, you guys. Me tonight in the NBL Live here. For Chicago here, I'm gonna. It sounds like I'm repeating. I can kind of tell when it goes off a little bit. So for Chicago here, 12-18. Spread on the road, but 22-17 against the spread as an underdog. If I had to look anywhere like trend wise, where put you on the Bulls, but I've got this one more. I want to go in the tankathon here a little bit and think that this is a spot where the Warriors should be able to get this win and cover. Well, the thing I said there the other night, I kind of believe, of course, I believe it, but I kind of think that this is where you really get the best. Say what you want. I know we're a little bit down on Kerr in this chat, right? But I'm not, and I think this is where he kind of gets the best of some players. That, hey, maybe he didn't have it. Maybe he had the chemistry issue, whatever, with Kuminga. Maybe he's a little bit quirky, but I think this is where he gets the best out of guys here a little bit. So I'm actually going to take the Warriors here in this one, in the tankathon. If you want to go another direction here, maybe look at the total. Look, I think this total at 227 is going to be hard to reach, actually, with these two teams. Yes, Golden State is 20-12 to the over at home and 28-14 to the over as a favorite, but this looks just too high to me. The Bulls are 17-22 as underdog, and not only that, you got a Golden State team here, or I mean a Chicago team that's gone under in 7 straight games currently. Golden State has gone over in 8 of their last 11 because they're not playing much defense, but 5 of the last 6 games between the two teams have gone over as well. But I'm going to take the Warriors here in the tankathon in this one. The two teams met back in Chicago in December. The Warriors did win at 123-91. The Warriors have won and covered 3 straight meetings between the two teams. I'm going to take the Warriors to get one here in this one. All right, under for Timmy Two Shoes, and let's here. Yeah, Timmy, I think he got under as well. And Old Gapper is here joining us tonight. And speaking of Old Gapper here, look, I thought Great Britain looked great in that game against Brazil last night in the World Baseball Classic. And I don't know if Old Gapper was here last night, or maybe I was talking on another show, but I'm really impressed how I saw an article on Sky News or Sky Sports talking about a little bit of piqued interest in baseball in Great Britain. You know, we've seen them go over there and play those major league games a couple of times. They can't quite get the dimensions down. So they've had some crazy scores, but they were talking about how the really maybe the most interest in Great Britain in baseball in over 20 years right now. So, okay, let's see here right now. Let's keep it moving. We've got a couple of games left. We're making it through. Deep breath. Hornets and Trailblazers in this one. And, hey, this one looks pretty interesting, right? You've got the hot Hornets. We know how hopefully we're making a little bit of a grip here lately, right, with the Hornets. Yes, they did kick it, and lost these last 2 games here, but they were tough games, man. They lost to Miami. Remember, we were on Miami in that game, and then they lost at Phoenix, and we went with Phoenix too. So I don't know. I think I got a good beat on these Hornets because we've kind of turned you on, and you guys as well, to this whole streak that they've been on. It seems like it's been going on forever now. Charlotte is 22-12 against the spread on the road and 14-8 against the spread as a favorite. But Portland's a solid dog, 19-13 against the spread as an underdog at home, and 19-13 against the spread at home, period, and 20-18 against the spread as a dog. But it has been pretty strong here, really, for Portland, winning 2 out of their last 3. Yes, those wins came against Memphis and Indiana. They actually haven't been covering that well of late, but again, you look at where Portland sits here right now, and they're going to make the play-in. They're going to be the last team in. Granted, not getting a little bit better position is going to be a bit of a problem for them, I would think, in the end. But like I said, good season for Portland nonetheless. We know Charlotte's situation has been awesome, and the funny thing is they're in 10th place too. They're in 10th place too, and their position's actually a little bit more precarious than Portland, although maybe the momentum is enough to overcome the proximity of the Bucks in the standings here right now. So for Charlotte here, like I said, lost 2 straight, but before that they were one of the hottest teams going. right now. Charlotte is 9-2 against the spread in their last 11 games overall. They've actually won 15 of their last 20. Struggle a little bit in the series against Portland. It's a semi um, semi frequent series here, or two games a year. But Charlotte just 2-6 against the spread in their last 8 games against Portland. Portland's dropped 4 of their last 5 against the spread coming in. 6 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams have gone under. Portland's gone over, though, in 8 straight games at home and 12 of their last 16 overall. Charlotte's gone under in 4 of their last 5. Portland's 21-11 to the over at home, but 16-22 to the under as a dog. For Charlotte, they are 15-19 to the under on the road. This one's a little, funky here. Look, it might look like a cheap number on Charlotte, but Portland is, hanging in there a little bit. I think I got to take the under in this one. I think, that Portland number, certainly 21-11 to the over at home, but I think more reflective of the fact that they are 16-22 to the under as a dog. And given the fact that Charlotte here is 25-40 to the under overall this season, remember what I've said is Charlotte, to me, it's about the defense, at least some consistency on defense here. Yeah, they might be a little explosive, but I got to take the under at 227.5. It's already gone down 2 points, so I think that shows it's heading, going to be probably an under game. Like I said on the show last week here, right? It's not hard. I'm not saying always play the moves on NBA totals. Like I said, it looks like one of these has actually gone too far, but I'm going to take the under in this one. All right. Let's go to the chat pros here. Thank you for joining me on Night Moves. Seeing me through this little bit of technical difficulty here. All right, we've got a Cal Dogs on the Hornets on the money line here. And I think that might be it. That might be it from you guys. Nobody's really interested in this game. Let's go to the next one then. We've got a good one here. Oh. With I'm getting a little old here. Timberwolves and the Lakers here in this one, and look at the Timberwolves favorite on the road here against the Lake Show at 234. Yeah, watch out. Yeah, like I said, right? I don't want to say like, hey, 220 and under. I wouldn't have a job here on the Tony's Fix YouTube channel if I just said 220. If the total's around 220, go under. If it's around 235, go over. But that's what it's starting to feel like here at the end of the season anyway. And again, really, it comes down to the fine line sometimes. The totals for a reason. It gets right up there, and then it stalls or it goes over. But I think here you might be looking at a high-scoring game. But let's take a look at this one with the Timberwolves actually a road favorite here in this one. We know they've been playing really good. In fact, it almost feels like the Timberwolves are a little bit overlooked. Now, LeBron is questionable with an elbow injury, and that might be reflective of the line here a little bit. Not that the Lakers would be a big favorite or anything over the Timberwolves. In fact, it feels like the Timberwolves probably should be the favorite as good as they've played. They almost have the same record, though, here right now, 40-24. Lakers, 39-25. But like I said, I think I said it last night or the night before. If you look at the metrics with Luka, with LeBron in there, we can make fun of them. We could say these guys bad chemistry. Every time they have a bad game, everybody flips out. When they play together, they actually have some really strong numbers when they're on the court together. There's no way around looking at it. That's the truth. So let's see, though, here in this one with Minnesota here. They are coming in off of a shocking loss at home to Orlando, but that only stopped a winning streak. Minnesota's still in that funk where they don't cover all the time. Now, sometimes it's been when they're a little bit more of a favorite than this, but they're 20-32 against the spread as a favorite. But don't look at the Lakers to cover as a dog either. They're 9-16 ATS as a dog. Lakers are 17-15 against the spread at home, and Minnesota is 13-17 against the spread on the road. These two teams have already played a couple of times this year. The Lakers actually won and covered both meetings, including last time out. They actually played in a 2 games in a week span. The teams haven't met since late October. So let's see what you got here in this one between the Lakers and the Timberwolves here on Tuesday night. Good game, important game. Lakers here currently sitting in fifth place and just a half a game back of the Rockets for fourth. Like I said, the fourth position is a little bit, always going to be the higher you go, but 4 and 5 might be the biggest difference because that is the closest rated series and you want the home court. Look, nothing you can do if you come in fourth and you end up, playing a higher seed in the end. Hey, that's just your problem to get it done in the regular season. But the first one, right, when you're the 4-5 situation, that seems like where it's most important. So let's see what you have though here. Lakers coming off back-to-back wins over Indiana, over the Knicks last night. Look, or 2 nights ago, caught me in that one. I was all about the Knicks in that one. I thought the Knicks would, beat them. No. I'm sorry. I was thinking last night's game against the Clippers. I was on the Knicks over the Clippers. I actually had the Lakers over the Knicks. Sorry about that, gang. I know I'm not gonna pull one over on you or anything here in this one, but let me see how you guys have it here with Minnesota and the Lakers. The LeBron status is a big factor, I feel like. Here we go. Hey, Dak Kush King is here tonight. He says Public's on the Hornets back there. All right, thank you. Jimmy Choo Shoes also talking about that Hornets game in there. All right, here we go. Jimmy Choo Shoes is on Minnesota. Cal Dog is on Minnesota. And Dak Kush King, though, here says he likes the Lakers here in this one. All right. I hope LeBron's in. I kind of want to take the Lakers in this one as well. Like I said, they beat them already twice this season. Is Minnesota better than the Lakers? Probably, but they're not really that far off. In fact, if the Lakers win this game, they will be tied in the standings here currently. So it has to be a reflection of the injury. Otherwise, why wouldn't teams be? Is Minnesota playing that much better than the Lakers? That just like I said, look at their record, almost the same exact record. Lakers are at home. They should be a little bit of a favorite, shouldn't they? Or is Minnesota, the way they're playing right now, the difference here a little bit? They're probably better than their 40-24 record, or the Lakers worse? I'm going to try the Lakers here to win one at home. Give me the Lakers tonight on Night Moves. All right. And Jimmy says they're probably going to be going through the motions here in this one, it sounds like. All right, that's it for the NBA. Thank you, everybody, I think we're kind of in the clear here with our technical issues. Let's go to college basketball right now, and I'm going to look at just a handful of games. I mean, there are a lot of games going, but we've got championship games here on Tuesday, so I think that is the most important thing to look at. Teams that are trying to go to the NCAA tournament. So let's get it going here with those championship games. All right. And we'll start it off here first in let's first go to the Coastal with Monmouth taking on Hofstra here in this one. And Hofstra is going to be favored by 5.5. I had Hofstra as a premium yesterday on the site, laying, I think it was 3.5. Maybe it was 4.5. They didn't cover. They won by 3. Hofstra got the win, though. They earned the berth here in the Coastal Championship against the Monmouth Hawks. In this one, Hofstra 22-10. They are the 3 seed here currently in the Coastal for the Hawks. They had to come through beating Campbell 74-64 yesterday. Campbell was an upset winner, of course, to get to that game. So the 4 seed Hawks beat the 9 seed Camels to get that because Wilmington got upset by Campbell. Meanwhile, on the other side of the bracket, Hofstra was up against number 7 Towson because Towson beat number 2 Charleston. So a little bit of a surprise here, but no surprise if you follow these teams here. Obviously, they're on a winning streak getting to the championship game, but the winning streak for the two teams actually goes a little bit beyond that. They were winning coming into the postseason right now. Hofstra's won 5 straight, and they've gone 8-2 against the spread in their last 10 games overall. Meanwhile, Towson has won 5 straight, and just 2-4 though against the spread actually for Taos for let me get it right here, you guys. I think I got my wrong trend up here. Not talking Towson here. Okay, here we go. I'm not going to start it over here, but okay. Here we go now with this one. Okay, yeah, Monmouth is 5-0 against the spread, straight up and against the spread here. Hofstra with 6 wins in a row, 8-3 against the spread. Their last 11. I just didn't have the current game loaded up here with these two teams. Monmouth's covered 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams this year. It was, however, Hofstra winning them both. They won at home 67-64, did not cover as a 7.5-point favorite, and Hofstra won on the road 73-57 back on the last day of January. They covered 1.5 there. So, yeah, Monmouth had been kind of getting the better of them here. And yes, Monmouth has covered 4 of the last 5, but Hofstra did win both meetings this season, covering just one of them. They couldn't cover 7.5, but they did cover 1.5 when they were at on the road. All right. 4 of the last 5 meetings between the two teams have gone under. Hofstra's gone under in 9 of their last 12 games. Monmouth's gone under in 4 of 6 here right now. So what do you think here in the Coastal Championship game with Monmouth and Hofstra going for conference title and a berth in the championship in the NCAA tournament here? All right, let's go to the chat pros, and see what you have in this one. They're underway. They're playing here. Southeast Melbourne leading here. And, Adelaide takes the lead there right now. And with Cotton. Cotton, so good. Bryce Cotton. Already got 9 points here. He's the man, really, in the whole league, in my opinion. All right, let's see here, though, what you got. I'm going to go to the chat pros here with Monmouth and Hofstra. I think you guys have some opinions. Here we go. Hofstra money line here for Cal Dog. Yep, me and Cal Dog were riding with Hofstra there last night. Hello to Richie Rich in the chat. Nice to have Rich join us. And thank you, Mr. Weskers, for a few other games out there for the chat tomorrow. I'm not getting into those 2 conferences tonight, but I'm glad you are for us. Here is Mr. Weskers, though, on Monmouth here. And Timmy says he likes Monmouth and those points here in this one right now. Yeah, and like I said, look, I think this feels like it could be an under situation here with these two teams for sure in this championship game at 135. Both meetings here in the regular season went under this number. The game at Monmouth was 130 points, and the game at Hofstra was 131. So I think that's well under this number. And let's see, Monmouth today for Dimitri, it looks like. Timmy says he might reconsider though and go over. All right, I'm going under here in this one with Monmouth and Hofstra. Give me the under here with these two. Good run for Adelaide there, 18-11. Uh-oh. All right, next up, we're going to go to the Horizon, where we have Detroit taking on Wright State. Wright State is a 3.5-point favorite, and the total here 153.5 as we get to there. Here we go. Let me start over. Horizon championship game here with Detroit and Wright State. Wright State minus 3.5. 153.5 here in this one. Wright State comes in off of a win last night over Northern Kentucky, 103-90 in a wild one. They're scoring a lot of points here so far late in the season. They had 90 against Cleveland State as well. They also scored 92 against NKU in their season finale. Detroit, meanwhile, 3 straight wins and covers here for the Titans. Man, a great job here for the Titans here to come in here. They are the 3 seed going up against number 1 seeded Wright. When these two teams met here this season, Wright State was able to get the win at Detroit, 84-82, but they did not cover as a 5.5-point favorite. Later in the season at Wright, Detroit went in there and beat them 77-74. So Detroit got the money in both games. However, for Detroit, that was their first win over Wright State in eight in the last 8 meetings. Detroit's won and covered 7 of their last 8 coming in. Wright State's won and covered 6 of their last 7. That's what you get in the conference tournament. You get some hot teams here. Detroit 13-8 against the spread as a dog. Wright State 12-9 against the spread as a favorite. Let's see what you have in the chat in this one. The finals here of the Coastal. And I only called it the Colonial Conference for the first couple of weeks, okay? Wright and Detroit have gone over in 9 of their last 13 meetings overall. Wright State is 9-12 to the under as a favorite, but Detroit is 13-8 to the over as an underdog here. Detroit's also gone under in 8 of their last 10 games overall coming into this one. All right, I want to hear from you in the chat here with Detroit and Wright State in this one. It's a close call for me, man, and with this matchup. Let's go to the chat. I might need your help. Not many books even have the line on this game up yet, but DraftKings does have it up here, and this is exactly the spread that they have, 3.5 at 153.5. It's Wright State for Mr. Weskers. And let's see here, Detroit for Cal Dog. All right, and Jimmy Choo says those favorites there, Wright State here, Wright State for Mr. Weskers here. Jimmy Choo liking the under here in this one. And let's see here. Is it an overreaction to that total over? Look, the last time they met, it was 151. In the game at Wright State, it was 166 in the game at Detroit. Like I said, it's just interesting to me that Detroit did get the money in the game at home. Their Wright came in, was favored. So, all right, in this one, I'm taking the Detroit Titans to get to the NCAA tournament in the memories of, Dick Vitale's still around, but Dick Vitale and David Smokey Gaines here. Give me Detroit in this one. And we move on here now to the MAAC with Siena taking on Merrimack here in this one. Merrimack, a 3.5-point favorite right now, maybe 3, and it looks like it's about 127. I think we might let's call it 3-27. Does feel like that's how the move is coming in here with Siena and Merrimack. This one's in Atlantic City here on Tuesday night. For Siena, they are the number 3 seed. They come in here 22-11. Merrimack's the 1 seed. 23-10. Both teams have won 3 straight games here, including 2 in the conference tournament here for Merrimack. They've covered against Sacred Heart, crushing them 70-48, covering 6.5, but they did not cover against Marist in a 58-57 win in the game 2 nights ago. They were favored by 2.5. They won by 1. Siena, meanwhile, though, has covered both games and covered all 3 of their last 3 wins here right now. For Siena here, wins over Mount St. Mary's and Fairfield here in the conference tournament right now. Man, there's some pressure to the under here in this one. Like I said, down to 127. And yeah, when they played here earlier in the season, it was the first game went under. It was 63-59. Merrimack won at home. Merrimack won on the road as a 5.5-point dog, and then they won at home 79-72 as a 2-point favorite. So Merrimack won and covered them both. Last year's game, Merrimack won it 64-58. So Merrimack has seemed to have the head-to-head advantage in this particular matchup. This one is at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 Pacific here in Atlantic City. Let's see what you guys have here in this one with Siena taking on Merrimack here tonight. Go to the chat pros here right now. Siena is 3-2 against the spread as an underdog, but Merrimack 11-6 against the spread as a favorite here. Siena's gone under in 22 of their 33 games this season. Merrimack's gone under in 21 of their 33 games this season. Merrimack 6-11 to the under as a favorite here. So this, 127 to me here does not feel even close. I mean, it feels like this one's going to be played under 120 points here tonight. But let's see what you have in the chat pros. Merrimack money line here for Cal Dog. And Siena for Timmy Two Shoes. And he says, look, this thing opened 130.5 and then 127. I think this game's going to be 125 by the time I wake up here right now, to be honest with you. But let's see. I don't know. Maybe Merrimack just playing well enough to hear this 3-point spread right now in this game. All right, is that it from the chat pros here right now? I'm taking Merrimack in this one to get it done. Give me the favorite here with Merrimack. All right. Next up, another championship game on tap here, except there's a caveat here in this one. Long Island has already qualified for the NCAA tournament here, despite the fact that the 2 teams will meet in this championship game here. Now, it could be, let me clarify, Mercyhurst, semi-new to Division I here. I think they're in their 2nd season. You got to go through, I think it's 4 seasons right now to get into the NCAA tournament. Will that take away from the motivation of Long Island here, knowing they're already in? And maybe will it bring a little bit of motivation to Mercyhurst saying, hey, we're not going to the NCAA tournament. This is our last game no matter what. Let's go out there and break some you-know-what and win the game because this is our championship game here right now. Mercyhurst is just 17-16 this season, but they are the number 3 seed. Long Island has been very solid this year. 23-10 coming into this one. Hats off to Long Island here, actually. Done an excellent job here this season to win the regular season, be the top seed here right now for Long Island. And, of course, head coach Rod Strickland, you might remember from his days as the Knicks guard. Long Island's won 4 in a row here right now with wins over Chicago State, FDU, and in the tournament they beat Chicago State. Did not cover, but they did cover against the Wagner Seahawks there. For Mercyhurst, they come in with 3 straight wins, and they've been covering everything here of late. Mercyhurst also tournament wins over FDU and Stonehill right now. Mercyhurst is 9-4 against the spread as an underdog here. LIU just 11-13 against the spread as a favorite. Should be noted that this is a home game here for LIU actually, and Mercyhurst is 12-6 against the spread on the road. Usually they're getting enough points, so you do have the dynamic to consider there about. Like I said, I don't know if it's going to affect it necessarily. I think Long Island is probably the better team by a considerable margin, actually. But Long Island here has gone under in 15 of their 24 games as a favorite, and Mercyhurst is 5-8 to the under as a dog. Long Island's 13-20 to the under this season here. So I have a feeling that this one's going to be a little bit ugly here as well. Long Island's gone under in 14 of their last 19. Mercyhurst has been going over a little bit here of late, 5 of their last 7 to the over. But when these two teams did meet this season, the first meeting here in Long Island was 60-58. Long Island won. They did not cover. It was way under this number of 137.5. It was 139.5 on that night. However, the teams did meet at Mercyhurst back in late February, and Long Island lost that one 91-83. That was at Mercyhurst, but obviously went way over the total. So let's see what you have, though, here. Long Island's won 12 straight games at home. They've won 6 of their last 7 overall, 12 of the last 14 conference games. Mercyhurst, meanwhile, 4-1 straight up, 5-0 against the spread in their last 5 overall. Mercyhurst has covered 8 of their last 10 games on the road. Let's go to the chat pros here with this one. And do you think Mercyhurst, is that good enough for them that, hey, this is it for us? We've got to win this. This is our last game of the season. We're not going to the tournament. Okay, here we go. Maybe nothing. Hey, I want to say hello to Gracious Fundamentalist in the chat. Thank you for stopping by, Gracious Fundamentalist. I gotta like that. Okay. I don't know if anybody's betting this game at all. Hey, here's Cal Dog. He likes Mercyhurst with the points. And Timmy says, hey, they cover games, Ramon. They're the one covering games. Long Island, not a great favorite. And like I said, you might consider here, like the fact that Mercyhurst is playing their last game, even though this is a conference championship, they cannot advance. Long Island is already in the NCAA tournament. So what's my motivation, you might say? I'll take the under in this one. Mr. Weskers likes Long Island. Timmy says, I got a great record here. And Damon's in the chat, liking those Knickerbockers. All right. Hey, I've got one more conference championship game, and then we got a ton of NHL to go over here on Night Moves. And it's going to be let me get the graphic here ready. I don't even think I had a point spread here when we first took to the airwaves here, so we're going to wing it a little bit, but here we go with. Yeah, you're not necessarily winging it. You know all about the Gonzaga Dogs. Now, what I said here at the beginning of the show, remember, Santa Clara with the win last night over St. Mary. I was on there. I heard what Tony and Rod were talking about, and I said I don't have the Santa Clara Broncos in the NCAA tournament. But that was before they beat St. Mary's, and that is the difference for them right now. So they, I believe, are in. That may even, I don't know if they know it. I don't know if they believe it. I don't know if they trust it. I'm just a guy who looks at the bracketology stuff. I don't know. I don't know what the committee thinks or how it works, or maybe Miami of Ohio loses and maybe one team is on the bubble. So let's see what really truly happens there with this game, right? Because you have Santa Clara here off of the big upset over St. Mary's last game. Gonzaga here, they held Oregon State, but hey, like I talked about with that, just a controlled game. They kind of play some unders when I'm talking about the Gonzaga coming in here right now. Look, this is where they belong. They always get to this point of the postseason, and usually like they play St. Mary's in each of the last four championship games, but uh, Gonzaga has won only three of them. I know we're having a little bit of all right, maybe it's Southeast Missouri because they're lighting it up over here on Adelaide right now, 35-29. This one's headed over, huh? All right, Mr. West. Sorry about the technical problem. See, we've got and he says Santa Clara might win, and it's a West Coast battle here in this one. So hopefully you guys are with me. I guess I got to make my pick here in this one. And Gonzaga, apologize, you guys. Hope I still have a show after this. But let me get a few of the trends out here, maybe with these two teams right now with this particular matchup. Santa Clara, of course, both teams a little bit of a winning streak here coming in. Pacific and St. Mary's in the conference tournament. They have a 3-game winning streak right now. They also beat Oregon State to close out the season. Gonzaga, all they had to do was beat Oregon State here, and they did so, and lay in 20 points. Actually, they both just played one game in the conference tournament, right? They got those bids to the semifinals. They did get it done. It wasn't easy. It wasn't pretty, but Gonzaga did win. Gonzaga's gone under in 5 straight games. However, 5 straight meetings between these two teams have gone over. Is the total here really 163? Because Gonzaga isn't. Now, that's not the way Gonzaga's going. Now, maybe Santa Clara does engage in them and kind of force this issue a little bit here, but I think they're sadly mistaken in this one. I don't know if I can. Gonzaga's 10-21 to the under this season. Now, Santa Clara is 20-11 to the over. They're Santa Clara comes in here, some pretty big numbers here. Yeah, they beat St. Mary's last night. It was only 147 points, however. They did score 70 Pacific 93 against Oregon State. But this is Gonzaga. Is Santa Clara really going to score here? Look, what are they going? What's their team total going to be here? 77. I think Santa Clara is going to score 77 again. Going under here, this one with Santa Clara and Gonzaga. Shouldn't Gonzaga dictate the tempo? They're the ones that are 9-19 to the under as a favorite. And even though Santa Clara, like I said, 20-11 to the over this season. Now, short sample, I get that. They've only been an underdog 5 times. They're just 3-2. Well, technically, that is 60%. We know that. But it's not a big enough sample, and the fact that they are 17-9 to the over as a favorite, I'm going to go with the under here in this one with Gonzaga and Santa Clara. All right. So, okay, hopefully we got everything in there with this one, you guys, and we're going to try to go through the hockey segment here right now. And maybe we'll make it quick. How about Southeast Missouri? It's 37-33. Man, I probably should have taken the over here, but we were on it a little bit. Okay, let's go to hockey now, and we're just going to have to get through it. We might work quickly here a little bit because of the issues here. I think what we have, because we are having some wind here in Vegas, so maybe that's what's going on. I don't know. The wind blows the internet off. I don't know how it works. Okay, let's go. We got good games too. Let's start it off with this one. You've got the Blue Jackets here on the road against the Lightning. I said good one. It looks like a blowout on paper. The Lightning here, look, we know they're great, but don't overlook the Columbus Blue Jackets. I mean, what are we doing here? Yes, Tampa Bay is, maybe the best team in the East. Maybe Carolina is. Maybe you might like uh, uh, a team riding a little bit higher than that even. Maybe Buffalo's good enough for you here. But the Blue Jackets have been playing terrific here. Come on, they're going to make the playoffs. I think they're in fourth place in the Metro, but they've had a strong campaign here this season. I don't trust any of these puck lines. I can't get one right necessarily. And who's winning by 2 goals anywhere against decent teams here, it feels like right now. Columbus is on off of a couple of losses here right now. They may have been banged up a little bit as well of late, but looking into this one here, they're the one with pretty much the clean injury report for Tampa Bay. Defenseman Lilleberg is out here. We know Dominic James has been placed on the injured reserve list, so I think it's just too crazy here right now. I think Columbus is playing well. Yeah, they're playing a great team here in Tampa, but Tampa has been struggling, man. What's wrong with Tampa right now? They just lost to Buffalo. Yes, that's a tough team, no doubt. And it was an important game too, right? When you have the top 2 teams right there in the division. But like I said here, Blue Jackets have been playing terrific here down the stretch right now. This has been part of their whole story here. Tampa with losses also. They beat Toronto, but they lost to Winnipeg, lost to Minnesota here. They're the ones that have kind of struggled here down the last few games or so. Meanwhile, for Columbus, they lost just now at home to Utah and to LA. Not a great situation, but they were pretty hot before that. Columbus has won 6 of their last 7 on the road. They're 14-5 still in their last 19. Tampa's lost 5 of 6, but they are 11-1 at home in their last 12. So complete home road dichotomy here. Columbus has lost 12 of their last 17 to Tampa Bay, but Columbus has won both meetings so far this season. Taking Columbus here on the puck line, of course. It's still a decent price here in this one. Columbus has gone over in 4 of their last 6. 5 of the last 6 meetings between these 2 teams have gone over here, but I'm just going to take the puck line here. No one's winning any games here in the NHL by more than 2 goals anymore, are they? 2 goals or more, are they? Give me Columbus here in this one on the puck line at plus 1.5 at minus $1.25. We'll go to the chat pros here. And nobody's got anything in this one. I'll just keep it moving. We got to keep it moving here. Red Wings taking on the Panthers here in this one. Another tight one here, it feels like, with Panthers. A home favorite here right now, $1.25, $1.30. The Panthers have been terrible. I mean, I've already cast my $60 futures bet way back in the day. I thought I was being sneaky at 10-1 with the Panthers this season. They never got healthy. They never got it going here. They did just beat Detroit here. These 2 teams met just the other night. It was 3-1. Florida did win at Detroit, so a little bit of revenge here for Detroit. However, it is at Florida, so we'll see. Florida favored here slightly, and they've been playing poorly here. But before that, win for the Panthers over Detroit. They were in a big losing streak, actually. They had lost 4 straight to Buffalo, the Islanders, New Jersey, and Columbus. Detroit, meanwhile, comes in off of a win over New Jersey, actually. So they've played a game since that Florida game, and Florida is not. They've been kind of waiting here. Florida is just 18-26 as a favorite. The Red Wings are a nice dog. 18-15 is a dog, and they're 18-10 on the road. This is kind of the role for Detroit here, actually. And like I said, Florida, they're not going to the postseason unless they start winning pretty much right now. They're in last place here, or tied for last anyway, with Toronto currently. Oh, the Panthers. What is that? Pantera? What is that? There we go. Fire the graphics man. So Florida here, they're, like I said, next to last place here right now. The Red Wings, hey, they're looking pretty sharp here. I think they can get in here. They're in third. They're kind of breathing down the necks here right now of Tampa Bay, maybe even Buffalo. Feels like they're still kind of live here to move up. And Florida's just been real weak here. But can you, going to consider them here, or just take the hot hand in the Detroit Red Wings? Florida's 26-18 to the over as a favorite here. For Detroit, they kind of tend to go over a little bit more as a dog, but on the road, they're just kind of 50-50 with the over-under. So I'm going to have to take the Red Wings here in this one. Give me Detroit. I think they're a little bit more solid in this position, and I'm going to take them here against Florida. Red Wings did win an earlier season meeting at home. I'm going to take them here on the road. Give me the Red Wings in this one. And Cal Dogs with me on the Red Wings. So is Timmy Two Shoes. How about that? We're on it. Let's go to an all-Canadian battle here. One of the hockey's oldest rivalries when the Maple Leafs take on the Canadiens here on Tuesday night. Toronto is going bad here. They're going stale right now. Toronto with a losing streak, big time coming in. At least Montreal coming in off of a win over the Kings on the road. They return home after a 3-game California road trip right now. Montreal's won 9 of their last 12 at home. Toronto just 1-4. Their last 5 on the road. They've lost 7 straight overall right now, and they are fizzling. Just 11-20. As an underdog here, you got to look at the puck line. I think in this one, Montreal 8-20 as a puck line favorite. Not great, but Toronto 17-14 as a puck line dog. That's probably even worse. 6 of the last 9 meetings between the two teams have gone under. 10 of the last 14 meetings in Montreal have gone under, but right now Montreal's gone over in 5 straight. Toronto's gone over in 4 of their last 5. We talk about the Canadian teams and all these overs. These two teams are combined 75-50 to the over. Even I can figure that out. Isn't that 57.1%? Montreal's gone over in 18 of 30 games at home right now. Teams met back in December was only 2-1. Montreal won in Toronto, but when they played here in Montreal, it was 5-2 there. So let's see what you got. It might be a little bit, I don't know if it's a little bit tricky, but if you're taking Montreal, I guess you could take them on the money line at $1.80, but really willing to trust them in that type of role here. It does feel like the move has been on Montreal a little bit. I don't know if I can stand to take Toronto here. Let's see what you got in the chat. All right. Hey, want to say hello to Doomsday in the chat. All right. He's got Detroit on the money line in the basketball game. Thank you to Doomsday. Man, great to have you. All right. Richie might take Toronto here. Timmy Two Shoes got to go with the under. Cal Dog going with that Canadiens puck line. Look, it does feel like Toronto is almost resigned itself. Montreal's not playing their best puck right now for sure, but I will take them here, and I'll take them on the puck line. Give me Montreal here over Toronto. Maybe the a rivalry can get them through. Montreal at minus 1.5 here is plus $1.40. So, you might take them at minus one. You might take them here in regulation. I'll just take them on the puck line. And Timmy's got Demidov for an assist. All right, here we go. Next up, Kings and Bruins. Here, Kings on the road. They win, they lose, they win, they lose. Boston, they win, they lose, they win, they lose. Two inconsistent teams going at it here. If you look at it, LA would be the team to lose. They won last game, but they've been alternating wins and losses for almost 3 weeks. Boston, meanwhile, same thing, and they're coming in off of a loss at Pittsburgh last time out, but they did play well in that one. In fact, that one went to overtime, but Pittsburgh was able to get the win a couple of nights ago, 5-4. These two teams played the first meeting already. It was in LA, of course, 2-1. Boston got the win in that one. For the Kings, this is their best. Road is what they like to be, 16-8 on the road. However, just 9-15 as an underdog. Meanwhile, Boston riding this home winning streak. So now at 12 games, I do believe here. Currently, and that might be enough just to keep you on Boston here in this one, especially with the Kings due for a loss, if you will. This is a second straight road game. They did just like I said, they just did beat Columbus last time out, 5-4. That was in overtime as well, and that was last night. Remember, if you were watching that game, Kings were kind of in control. Columbus kind of came back, but then the Kings were able to get the win. So I don't know. That might have took a little bit of the wind out of the sails, even though LA did win. They had to work a little extra there. And Boston does have some home wins here of late. Like I said, this has been a massive winning streak. So you're really going to bucket here against a team on the back-to-back in the LA Kings. And this has been such a great streak here, 12 straight wins, I think it is right now, for the Boston Bruins at home. They've won 13 of their last 20 overall. The Kings have still lost 7 of their last 10. No matter how you look at it, and they're 2-4 in their last 6 against the Boston Bruins. Kings have gone under in 5 of their last 6 on the road, but 8 of the last 12 meetings have gone over. Boston's gone over in 10 of their last 15, and the Kings have gone over in 5 of their last 7. I will note the Kings have gone under in 15 of 23 as an underdog, and Boston's only 11 up and 11 down in the favorite role. So just give me the Boston Bruins here. Nothing much I could do with this spread, but when you've won 12 in a row and you're taking on a West Coast team off of a back-to-back, even I've got to go with that one here. I'll take the Boston Bruins. And in the chat, what did you guys do here in this one? It's going to be, Jimmy says, Bruins are undefeated at home. Cal Dogs on the Bruins. Richie says, Boston first period over in their shots. Timmy's always ready to go with Geeky and Pasta and Schneider and score. All right, now Adelaide's winning by 6. This has been a wild game, and it is starting to slow down a little bit, 49-43 here in Adelaide. Going to the line here. It's almost halftime. We'll be done before the game's over, but okay, next up. Another good one here. Penguins and Hurricanes, and a big number here for the Hurricanes. We know Hurricanes are either number 1 or number 2, I would guess, here in the East. Depends who you like. You like the Canes? You like the Sabres here? Where's my graphic? There we go. But again, I'm just never impressed by any of these puck lines here right now, to be honest with you. Carolina's coming in here off of a loss. They lost to Calgary on the road. They did just finish up a 4-game road trip to the Northwest, went 2-2 in that trip, beat Vancouver, beat Edmonton, lost to Seattle, lost to Calgary. Still, Carolina 23-8 at home, 39-19 as a favorite. More so, you got to look at the puck line here where they're 22-7 36. That's a little bit above what I expect for a good puck line team here, because they are so good, no doubt about it. But for Pittsburgh here, uh, 27-7 as a puck line underdog, and no matter how you look at it, that is excellent, no doubt about it. So look, I think Pittsburgh can hang here. I would think against Carolina. Pittsburgh already won the meeting back in December at home, 5-1 in their only meeting so far this season. But man, I'm looking to take. I don't mind here at plus 1.5 for Pittsburgh at minus $1.35. I'm going to take the Penguins here on the puck line here in this one. All right, and you might have noticed earlier we did go. The Flames and the Rangers didn't make the cut here in this show. All right, Timmy's got the Penguins to win this one. Cal Dog's got them too. Penguins money line. All right, let's move on here right now. Next up, look at this. Like I said, I mean, you can say what you want for parity, but all of these games involve some pretty good teams, it feels like, or teams that still have a chance here right now. And let's take a look at this one between the Sharks here taking on the Sabres. Oh, man, the Sabres. Now, the Sharks are playing well enough here to consider this is no pushover. Yeah, the Sharks have lost a couple of games in a row here right now to St. Louis and the Islanders. They were just on a long homestand. I believe 6-7 games there. Buffalo, meanwhile, they haven't lost in forever still. Not every game is easy. They just had that wild game against Tampa, won it 8-7. Funny that was a regulation game in there, but still Buffalo on a flat-out roll. Buffalo has won 7 straight once again. They're 12-4 at home. San Jose's lost 7 of their last 10. They've lost 5 of the last 6 to Buffalo, and Buffalo's won 15 of the last 20 years at home against the Sharks. Yeah, this is a good a better Sharks team that definitely is improving and moving up the ladder here this season. They're probably going to end up a little short despite that great. I say it, but only because yes, they're behind Seattle and LA, but LA is moving. They're kind of on the downswing. Seattle, those looked pretty good here for the most part. These two teams have not yet met this season, so we get to see this matchup once again. Buffalo, 18-10 as a favorite, 13-15 as a puck line favorite. That is really strong. San Jose 37-17 as a puck line dog. That's pretty good too. Here, $2 favorite. Buffalo makes every game interesting, even if these as good as they are. They really don't get too many blowout wins. They do have a couple here of late over Pittsburgh and Tampa Bay. Sharks actually beat them here last year 6-2. So, like I said, I'm kind of riding against these puck lines a little bit. San Jose's gone under in 5 of their last 7 games. Buffalo's gone under in 5 of their last 7 games as well here. So let's see what you have in this one. But I'm taking the Sharks on the puck line. Now, this one's a little bit stiffer. I think it's minus $1.45 or so. But taking the Sharks on the puck line. And like I said, you don't see right now, you're just not seeing as many empty netters here. It feels like teams are playing so solid when they're on that man advantage or on the pulling of the goalie and not giving up that long goal. Okay, here we go. Maybe you should take Buffalo money line here, the way they're going right there. But at $2, I'm going to take the Sharks. Here we go. Timmy said he played the Sharks in the under. Halftime there, 50-48 in the Southeast Melbourne and Adelaide game. Remember, these are the playoffs. It's the best of 3. So if you want to tune into the NBA app and watch a playoff game right now from Australia, Bryce Cotton, if you remember him, great player. I think he's the best player in the league. Sharks puck line here, maybe 4. Cal Dog. Richie Ridge going to ride with Buffalo here. All right. Let's keep it moving here right now. We get this show over with here before halftime's over. Hey, and you guys watching the Paralympics in the middle of the night on NBC? Paralympics going on. I was watching hockey last night. I was watching curling, and man, they're great on the hockey. With the you get two sticks in hockey. You can pass it. You can't pass it. I think you can't. Two sticks in hockey in Paralympic hockey. And my favorite event in the Paralympics is the cripple jump. Oh, did I just say that? Okay, here we go. Next up here with the Islanders taking on the Blues. In this one, you've got the Islanders here, minus $1.25 on the road. Islanders coming in off of a win over San Jose. The Islanders really haven't looked that good here of late. They lost to Anaheim, they lost to LA, but they were on a West Coast swing, so still on the road here, traveling back from that West Coast swing. St. Louis, meanwhile, they're playing some of their best hockey again. Remember, they had a long winning streak there, and they kind of gave a lot of it back. They've had some losing streaks, too, a streaky team, the Blues. But right now, 4 straight wins, all on the road. We had them against Anaheim there. That was a great road trip. They really were playing well. Wins over Minnesota, Seattle, San Jose, and Anaheim, and they're a slight underdog here to these Islanders. Now, maybe this is where the Islanders have to get back going healthy here right now, but give credit to the St. Louis Blues because, if anything, they are left for dead. I'm only covering this game really because the Islanders are the team that is, in third place, right there with Pittsburgh. Not going to catch Carolina, but they could move up here against Pittsburgh. Meanwhile, St. Louis, they're not going to make it. I mean, I think there's just too much work to do here for St. Louis, but got to admit they're playing their hearts out right now and looking very strong. These two teams met back in November. St. Louis got the win at the Islanders 2-1 here. So what do you have here in this one? The Islanders, look, they've had a good season. Sorokin's in there. Yes, we can make fun of Binnington here, especially after the Olympics here. He's still, you're in the Olympics. You're still kind of world class, aren't you? Here, I wouldn't, you'd take Binnington over a lot of goalies, I think here. Oh, I might be going down here. I feel like I'm going to be going down here in a second with the, we started with 50. We're down to 16, probably because of the technical issues. All right. Let's see what you got, though, here. You've got the Islanders here, 19-13 on the road. This is where they've been good. Let's go to the chat. All pros here. I'm taking St. Louis. I already know that. Jimmy, how about that? The skiers. Man, that was great watching the giant slalom. We were on one ski, and you get, unlike the poles, and same thing like the hockey kind of, you get two little two extra skis in your hand there a little bit. Islanders wake up here, says Cal Dog. Jimmy likes it to go over. Hopefully I'm on the air here still. I know I'm having a little bit of I can see when my monitors start lagging a little bit. I want to make my play. Make sure you can hear it here because I am taking the St. Louis Blues. Hopefully you hear me here. I'm going to repeat it a couple of times. St. Louis. Yep, I'm on. I'm still on. St. Louis. I'm taking St. Louis at home in this one. Golden Knights taking on the Dallas Stars here. The Stars are minus $1.45 here in this one. I don't think I'm on with you right now. Okay. All right. Maybe I'm back, I hope. Golden Knights taking on the Stars here in this one. You got the Stars, $1.45 here, taking on the Golden Knights. for the Stars here now. They come in with a record of 39, 14, and 10. They've been playing well here again of late. Vegas has had some struggles. 2-game losing streak right now at home to Edmonton and to Minnesota. Not great. Meanwhile, for Dallas, they just did beat Chicago last time out 4-3, but it was an overtime victory. Still, Dallas has been playing pretty well here of late. They're currently in second place. They're not going to catch Colorado, but they're trying to hold off Minnesota for second place in the Central for BGK. Meanwhile, they are 1 point behind Anaheim, so you got two of the best teams here in the West. Coming into this one, Vegas lost to Edmonton last time out, and they lost to Minnesota. So a little bit of hiccup here. They also lost to Buffalo and Pittsburgh, losing 4 of their last 5 games, actually, coming into this one. So let's see how you want to play it here with Vegas tonight. On the road at Dallas, where they've lost 4 of their last 5, actually. Dallas has won against Vegas. Dallas has won 11 of their last 12 games at home. 7 of their last 8 at home, 11 of their last 12 overall. Dallas is going up, Vegas is going down. There's no question that is a fact as far as just the wins and losses. Not to say that Vegas can't kick it in gear here, but Vegas also just 4-8 as an underdog this season. Dallas has been a terrific favorite, 30-17. Vegas is solid on the road, 15-11, but Dallas 19-7 at home. I think it's a manageable number here for the Dallas Stars at 145 or so. Maybe it's gone up to 150 right now. I'd probably rather take Dallas here in this one over Vegas, but I'm going to actually go with the total over in this one. Give me the over right now. Hey, I don't even have a total yet so far tonight. Unbelievable. Here. So give me the over in this one. I think for me, it's more about Vegas than it is about Dallas. There's not a lot of trends that would indicate that these teams are solid overs right now. In fact, Vegas has gone under in 5 of their last 6, and 12 of the last 16 meetings have gone under. But Dallas has gone over in 4 of 5, and when the teams met in January, they had 5-4 in favor of Dallas. They won at Vegas in that one back in January. These teams are going to meet again, too. That was a shootout game, so we'll see. But I'm going to go over here, even this one, even with Ottinger in there and Kira Schmid. Chat pros, want to hear from you. Let's take a look here right now. Dallas is the play, says Richie Rich. Stars and over for Cal Dog. Also here you've got Timmy Two Shoes, Vegas and under. Timmy says it'll be 2-2 and then maybe 3-2. Gracious Fundamentalist goes over here. I was like, when you have, I don't know if Gracious Fundamentalist obviously maybe chose their name there, but sometimes when you go on these sites, you have like, it makes up a name and it's like kind of a verb, and then it's like gross Layla or undefined Heisenberg. I can't try to think of some other names or something like that, Okay. What are some other? I see so many names like that. Maybe it's just something that computers do nowadays. I don't know. All right, let's keep it going here, man. The show's getting long, but we got a lot of hockey here, and we've already, we kicked one game out. Mammoth and the Wild here. You can't kick these guys out. You got 2 teams probably heading in the postseason here. We know the Wild are. The Wild have been great, but the Mammoth here have also been playing well, even if I can't get back on the air here right now. Just wait it out here a little bit. All right. All right, I think we're back here really quick here, you guys. joining you. Utah here, winners of three of their last four coming in. They did lose last time out at Chicago, 3-2 last night. Hey, we were on Chicago last night, even if it was on the puck line there. We took them. They won it in overtime, did Chicago. Uh, but Utah had consecutive wins before that against Washington, Philadelphia, and Columbus. This is their fifth straight road game here for Utah. They are 16-15 on the road, but 8-14 as an underdog here. Minnesota, 18-7 at home, 20-16 as a favorite. Minnesota's won eight of their last 11. They've won four of their last five at home. Utah's won five straight meetings against the Minnesota Wild. Utah's won six of their last nine on the road and 12 of their last 18 overall. So it's been a pretty sharp time here. Utah's done a nice job here of late. These two teams did meet just a couple of weeks ago, and it was Utah winning 5-2. Again, they've kind of had Minnesota's number here, no doubt. So with Minnesota, look, like I said, they've lost three of their last five here right now. Utah's won three of four, and Utah's not awful on the road. I think it's going to be Velmica and Gus in goal here in this one. But you know what? I'm going to take the Utah Mammoth on the puck line here in this one. Give me the Mammoth here to win in this one. Look, it's 5.5 over 25. You're probably going to be looking at, I think, a low score, although the last three meetings between the two teams have gone over, and Minnesota kind of goes over as a favorite. But I'm going to go ahead and take Utah here in this one on the money line. Give me Utah. And Timmy says this has been a long road trip, like I mentioned here. I might be just riding with the series history overall, no doubt. Minnesota just was on the road for a couple of games, came back home. Cal Dogs on the Mammoth here as well. All right, I'm going a little quickly. We got to get this one over with. Ducks and Jets here. Another certainly interesting game here right now with the Ducks on the road battling here for first place in the Pacific Division. And meanwhile, for the Winnipeg Jets here, they're probably going to end up short of the playoffs. The Utah, these top teams in the Central have kind of gotten away. Nashville, Winnipeg, and Chicago and St. Louis are probably going to miss here. But nonetheless, they're at home and they're favored, probably because they have the great Connor Hellebuck in goal. Now, look, kind of back to being Connor. I don't want to say back to being Connor Hellebuck, but back to being NHL Connor Hellebuck, who, it hasn't been a great season here for him in Winnipeg. Still going to be great most of the time. Keep your team in there. Winnipeg's won three straight consecutive wins over Chicago, Tampa Bay, and Vancouver. They're 15-11 at home. Anaheim just 13-15 on the road. Anaheim's won 2 of 3, lost to St. Louis last time out. Did beat Montreal, did beat the Islanders. They were on a long homestand. This is the first game for Anaheim on the road after a long homestand. Anaheim's won still 14 of their last 18. They've actually beat Winnipeg in 4 of the last 5 meetings. Winnipeg, however, 10-1 in their last 11 games at home against Anaheim. But again, this is a different Anaheim. Winnipeg's gone under in 6 of their last 7 at home and under in 6 of their last 7 overall. Anaheim's gone under in 4 of their last 5, although they've gone over in 8 of their last 12 games on the road. Let's see what you have here in this one with Winnipeg taking on Anaheim here in this one. I'm going to take the Winnipeg Jets in this one, actually, over Anaheim. I think they're done, but in this matchup, I think Hellebuck will have a good game here in this one. Anaheim's been an offensive juggernaut, but they did just get shut out by St. Louis 4-0. I don't think it's a sign of things to come, but I'm going to go ahead and take Winnipeg here. Winnipeg has allowed just 7 goals in their last 4 games overall right now. Although the last game was between these two teams in February, and Anaheim won 5-4 at home. They also won in November 4-1 at home. I'm going to take Winnipeg, though, in this one to turn the tables on the Ducks. Here is Gracious Fundamentalist. Ducks money line, BGK Dallas over, Bruins money line, and that's a parlay for Gracious Fundamentalist. All right, I love that name. I can think of some other uh, uh, some other funny names there I've seen because, like I said, and for whatever reason, sometimes when you hit the button there and just try, like, it assigns you a name, you get some goofy names. But I love that name. Okay, also Ducks here for Cal Dog. Timmy Choo Shoes likes the Ducks and Gremlin to score here in that one. All right. Let's keep it going here right now. We're almost done here on Night Moves. Last games here, Nashville taking on Seattle here in this one. You got Seattle $1.20 right now, and the total, 5.5 here with this game, or is it 6? No, it's got to be 6. Yeah, it's 6. It may be juiced to the under here, but I think it's more 6 um, than 5.5 flat. That's for sure. Justice Annanen going here. Joey Decord for Winnipeg in this one. For Seattle in this one. Seattle just $1.20 here at home right now. And look, again, like I said, I always have this Nashville problem, but been laying off of them here late. And maybe that's been okay because Nashville's been in a bit of a losing skid. Seattle's lost 2 in a row at home here right now to St. Louis and Ottawa. Nashville did beat Boston the other night, but then lost to Buffalo on the road, 3-2 in regulation. Here, I think this is a manageable number for Seattle, actually. I know the Sharps are probably going to take the Predators here at even money, but I don't think I can do it. Nashville's lost 7 of their last 8 on the road, 4 of their last 5 overall. Maybe tonight's their night, but Seattle's won 5 of their last 7 at home. They've also won 5 of the last 6 at home against Nashville. Seattle has dropped 4 of 6 here, like I said, including 2 straight. They're still 16-11 at home, and Nashville is 16-29 as an underdog. So give me the Kraken here in this one. Man, I took a lot of sides tonight. No totals for one total for me. Is that it? Man, do I have to go to a total just to satisfy my cravings here with our last game of the night with the Oilers taking on the Avalanche here in this? Look, I can tell you right now, I will take it over. I'll take it over. I'll take it over, and I'm taking the over. I'm taking the over. There's the handicap. Let's go over with Edmonton and Colorado. Come on. This game's going over. This game's going over 7. It might go over 8. I might not go over 8, but the total here is I have 6.5 over 20, but I think that's wrong. I think it's 7 everywhere here right now, mostly 7 under here, maybe 7 under 15 or so. The line has dropped maybe here to $1.75, but there's enough $1.80s, but I don't care. I'm going to go over in this one. Maybe because I don't have enough totals out there, but Colorado comes in here on a roll right now, finally again. They did have some tough games against Dallas and against Minnesota. The Dallas game, the win was a shootout against Minnesota. It was another shootout. They've won back-to-back shootouts, but in general, they've been winning here on a good winning streak here for Colorado. They've won 5 straight. They've also won 7 in the last 10 at home against Edmonton. Edmonton's just 5-13 straight up in their last 18 games against Colorado. They're 3-6 straight up in their last 9. Edmonton's gone over in 6 of their last 7. Coming into this one, Colorado has gone under in 4 of their last 5 at home. Edmonton just beat BGK on the road 4-2. However, they did lose to Carolina 6-3. The game against Ottawa had 9 goals. The game against San Jose had 9 goals. The game against the Kings had 9 goals. Give me the over here in this one. The Oilers are, and we talked about it the other night, they're 8-1 to the over as an underdog. I'm taking the over in this one. They're also, I will mention, they're 2-7 straight up in those particular games. This one's kind of in puck line territory. Edmonton is 5-4 as a puck line underdog. That's no good. Colorado 32-29 as a puck line favorite, that'll work. Might take Colorado puck line, but I'll take the over here. Okay, Cal Dog's on the under, Timmy's on the over, and wonder what the grand salami will be. I guess I wouldn't know, Cal Dog. I didn't take enough totals. Wow. Amazing I didn't take those totals. Okay, that's going to do it for Night Moves. We've got to get out of here, man. 2 hours and 40 minutes. I'm lucky that they allowed me here on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. Hey, everyone, I hope you caught it today. If not, go underneath the live tab here on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. It was a debut of the drive-through show, the famous show made famous by Tony T. Remember, over with the crew across the street, but the show got, we had some, how it went down over there, but oh man, we got it back here right now, and it felt good to be on the drive-through today with Tony. So make sure you check it out every day, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. It's preceded by Rod and his happy hour show. So we got nice combo of programming there at 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific, and 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific. And also don't forget the morning show. Tony has his panel as well there, and going over the early action here. And you got Night Moves with me, so don't forget to join me here. And really appreciate you hanging in here all the way with me. Funny how we went down. The technical difficulties took us all the way down. We do have a few dozen of you here still tonight, so really appreciate it. Hey, head on over to Tony'sPicks.com and use the promo code TonyT at checkout to check out our best bets, including mine here on Tuesday. I do have my best bets over at Tony's Picks. You see me all over doing these shows like I have no life and I just do shows all day. Well, this is where I start, over at Tony'sPicks.com with my best bets. I try to make sure my best plays are right here in this system, right there, like Rod does. And my best plays are at Tony'sPicks.com, and then I work from there. The top plays, my boutique plays, my high roller plays, the one you're going to want to put a few dollars down, if you know what I mean. These are where you get them, right here at Tony's Picks. Click on the All Cappers tab. You can find the handicapper of your choice. In this case, he might be near the bottom, but that's how the algorithm works. And you see some of my records here with some of the great numbers that I have in some of these sports, including tennis up there. I'm up 5 units on the season. NBA, I'm up 5 units on the season. Soccer, up 3 units. So look, I like to concentrate on all the sports. So make sure you're riding with me here. They're underway in the second half, and got a good one here with Adelaide and Southeast Melbourne. So I'm going to get to that. Thanks a lot, everybody, for joining me here on Night Moves. We're going to catch you back here tomorrow with the show, previewing the action here on for Wednesday. All right, that's going to do it here for the Night Move show here, and for the Tony's Picks YouTube channel, the 53,000 subscriber juggernaut. I'm Ramon Scott. So long from Night Moves. So long from Vegas.